Hello, fam. Oh no, I'm sorry. The time frame. What is up, y'all?
Oh yeah, and okay me harder.
Welcome in, welcome in. Oh my god, hi. I think I'm about to spoil something, but because I totally forgot to turn it off. But here, one sec. I'm just gonna roll with it, and then I'm just gonna instantly turn it off, and then I'll just fix it. All right. Anyway, hi, fam. Hope you guys are doing well. It's Wednesday. Hope you guys are living the best dream possible. Hey. What's up? What's up? Hi. It's Wednesday. It's been a week since you last saw me. Sorry, Yuki, for all the troubles of time zones. They're a pain in the butt. Yeah, we got a cat cam. I kind of spoiled it a little bit, but yeah, look, y'all. Look. There she is. There she is. And in case you're wondering if that's real or not, here's my hand. Definitely real. Oh, she got surprised. There she. Her recent obsession has been laying on my she keeps laying on my binders. I don't know why. Yeah, it's super cute. I'll try and keep it on today as long as she's visible. When she's not visible, I'll obviously get rid of it, but she's been recently really enjoying my couch right here. So I got the cat cam in. I don't need Eric on stream, we got Crystal. But yeah, she'll vibe with us for the whole stream as long as she just, you know, lays there, which I think she will. I think it's funny that she reacted to my hand. She's so silly. Yeah, it's real, it's official. So I'm using one of my old cameras, actually, the ones I used to use for stream as the cat cam now. Right now it's connected, so it's easy, but if she moves around, it'll be a little bit harder to keep it there. And see if they update the new over trigger. It should be updated with the new OT. That is, as far as I'm aware. I think it's only like one card, so they don't have to do too much to update that. So very good stuff, But let me find all my stuff. One sec. I like totally forgot that I'm a streamer and I'm supposed to be doing streamer things. You got a new cat named Oreo? Oh my god. I don't know if you're in my Discord or not, but you should totally go into my Discord and go to the pet channel. Totally post a picture of your cat. You should totally do all that. Also, thank you for the sub, Yuki. I appreciate it. Anyway, today we're gonna actually talk about the new over trigger, and we're gonna have Eric on stream here in a little bit. I'm kind of like waking up from my food. I just had like a really good meal, and I'm kind of just like, good night. So I'm trying to like wake up. Let me see if maybe I gotta go back to my League of Legends music. Maybe that'll wake me up. Very much food coma. I made the butter chicken with like barbecue, rice, and broccoli, and it came out so well. But it was mad filling though. I feel like we need to ask which deck makes the best OT turn with the new OT. So honestly, that's a hard question to answer without like some kind of testing. The new over trigger is more for rearguard decks. Yeah, it's definitely more rearguard centric. I think it's hard to gauge where it's best at. Because like there's certain because that OT has a very interesting like synergy with like certain situations. In some situations it could be better, and some situations it could be worse, and depends on the deck too. But hard to say exactly like where it shines the brightest. I think Bastion seems more logical. I honestly think it's like basically any deck that wants to restand rear guards. I think that's where it shines the most. To say like where it's better or not, I really couldn't say. I think it just depends on how rearguard focused the deck is. Bastion's bad with the new OT. I think Bastion's fine, but you know, you have a bunch of grade 3s, so you typically want to utilize that. Oh, welcome, thank you. Hi, welcome back for the 11 months. Appreciated. It's in the Discord. I'm gonna see the cat. I'm gonna look at the cat. BRB guys, stalking cat. I gotta see this. Pet channel. Oh, but it's a little kitten. It's a little baby. Yeah, you guys gotta look at the little baby. I'm gonna post a little baby. Little baby. Baby kitten. Look at the kitten. It's drinking milk. Okay, I'm okay. I'm not okay, but I'm okay. Oh, whoops, that's me, my bad. Oh, little kitten. All right. Enjoy your time, little kitten. I hope you live a good life. Hope you live an amazing life, little kitty cat. You're also thinking small with the meg stuff, saying no to PGs. Yeah, I think Guard Restrict is gonna be really fun with all that stuff. It's gonna be a great time. Alright, I think I'm awake enough. Maybe I'll go back to my League music here. I found a song I want to start with. Yeah. Alright, we could jam with the new beats. Alright, so we got Cat Cam. I do have my little tier list ready. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. So today we are, first of all, Privyet Sia. That means hello everyone in the good old Russian language. Today we're going to be looking over triggers. And we got Cat, got me, and we're gonna have Eric soon too, because why not argue for 2 hours? Or how long it's gonna take. Hopefully it won't take 2 hours. But we're gonna be looking at the over trigger, comparing it to pretty much all the decks that are pretty much a thing, and seeing if it's usable, if it's not usable. A lot of people have been doing this, by the way. This is like Crowie's idea. I think Crowie started it. I'm joking, it won't be 2 hours. I actually meant 6. Sorry. 6 hours, Eric. Are you ready for this? Oh my lord. Just put my cat on Discord. Oh my god, is everyone gonna start sending me cat pictures? I'm gonna lose my mind. And we're gonna have a subathon. It's just me and Vanguard Insider arguing for the next like 3-4 days. Brace yourself. That's just we'll just keep arguing about stuff. But I did create a little thingy bobber here. So so here's the little thingy bobber. And then I'm gonna call Eric now. We're gonna bring Eric into this. So brace yourself. He might be loud the first couple seconds because he normally is, because it's Eric. So Eric, I'm calling, just FYI. I know you're like a couple of seconds too late, but here I go. I'm calling the Eric. I told him like 5:40. I'm kind of early, so he might actually. Oh, hi.
Wait, what do you mean when I'm loud?
You're loud. What do you mean? What do I mean?
Yeah,
you heard me.
I'm not loud. Also, 6 hours more. I've heard something that we can just continue into the next day, because apparently I saw Matt. I think Matt said it, that tomorrow they're gonna reveal the other over trigger.
Yeah. Sorry,
so
I'm trying to get your thingy in here.
So we can literally
yeah.
continue the destruction over to the
harder.
as well.
Yeah, basically. Basically, yeah, we're gonna have a new over trigger here in a little bit. So I'm trying to understand why your thingy's not showing up. Oh wait, it was just showing up a second ago. No, it disappeared. What did I do? Oh no, it shows up there.
Stuff again?
Yeah, I'm breaking things. It shows up when it shows up when I like look at it, and then it disappears when I stop looking at it, and I don't know why.
So it's basically,
oh, I got it. There we go.
It's literally like a baby. So if I close my eyes, they don't see me, and if I see them, they can see me.
Basically, but it's okay. I got you though. I'm gonna put you over here. That way it doesn't look as cropped. That means I gotta move myself. I'll move myself. All right. Let's I think I'm almost ready. Yeah, there we go. Actually, no, I don't want to block myself too much. All right, speak, Eric.
Hello?
All right.
Hello?
Cool. Is Eric too loud for y'all, or too quiet, or any of that kind of stuff? Let me know. Otherwise, I won't know. And also, we got Cat Camp too. Today is a perfect day to be alive.
Yo, it's the whole team across the yard today.
Yeah, exactly. Eric is actually quiet, so it's perfect.
Hey, shut up, Matt. Curly, Matt, both shut up.
Okay, to be on my audio, you sound fine. From what I'm seeing.
Honestly, it's fine. The children need to be silent. The parents are talking now. Our opinion is gonna matter today.
Oh no. Oh yeah, you can see my. Are you gonna be fine with having a little bit of a delay, or do you want me to like?
Oh yeah, that's fine, because we're just gonna talk about one card at a time, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Well, not one card, one deck. Hello.
Yeah, okay, deck. Yeah, it's one card in the sense of the Vanguard. Okay.
All right. Whatever you say.
Somebody says I may be a bit too quiet. Wait, let me hear myself stream.
Eric is actually quiet. I can up you on this side too. I upped you a little bit on my Discord.
Yeah, in contrast to your voice, I'm a bit lower, but not that much.
Aww.
Just a little bit. And that should be fine.
I mean, I can up you on the. I'll make your user volume even louder there.
Because I'm scared to up the volume on my side because maybe I just go a bit too much and I peak as a crazy.
Yeah, you peak like crazy sometimes. It's okay, I do too. So.
It's just that I get too excited, man. I just get
you
too
do.
excited. Yeah.
You do. All right, is he a little better now? I made the Discord side of him louder. Is this Snail House? This is no, this is not Snail House.
Wait, what's Snail House?
I'm pretty sure it's a band.
Oh, okay.
Howdy, welcome in. All right, so we're gonna be starting this wonderful tier list. I got Eric right beside me in chibi form. This is Vanguard Insider. You want to introduce yourself, Mr. Vanguard Insider?
I'm waving right now, but nobody can see that. So, hi everybody, hi chat, how Orange viewers on the YouTube and Twitch. I assume it's gonna be on Twitch and YouTube, but just in case.
Sorry, I was mimicking what you're doing.
I saw that. I was like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, okay, sure, fine, we go with this.
Hello, my name is Eric, and I like your Chronicle, and I go on monologues sometimes. It's great. That's
for this video only, I took possession of a different body today, which is the body you see on screen right now.
Chibi form.
No, I meant you.
Oh yeah. He grew. He became a woman.
Yeah, just for today. Just for today.
Anyway, so here we have the breakdown. So just to kind of give a little like whatever this, whatever the tier list is. So we have the new OT. So pretty much this tier list is to specify with the new over trigger, which I guess we might want to read the skill of that. But anyway, the new OT just got announced, and we're pretty much going to rate how useful the over trigger will be in pretty much every deck in Overdress. So if it's like super useful, then it's the first tier, which is a new OT, would be used. If it's kind of useful, where it's like if maybe 50-50 situation, it'll be in the second tier. Big nope, it means like it's just completely pointless. You would never want to run this. And then who are you again? It's just any decks that we just don't know and don't care about. So
seems fair.
Actually, while we're here, do you want to reread the OT with me? You want to have a rereading OT party?
Yeah, sure. Wait.
Let me find it.
Yeah, what's the name of the guy again? Something.
Something. I'm an over trigger.
Wait, I grabbed the festival collection.
So his name is Spiritual Lord of Ignition. Walnut. Or whatever the hell, however the heck you say that. Anyway, effect is additional effects. Choose one of your standing rear guards, and it gets auto rear guard once per turn. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, stand this unit until the end of turn. If you do not choose, you draw a card, and you choose up to one unit from your hand and call it to rear guard circle, and that part is not mandatory. You have to draw, but it's not mandatory to call. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I never realized that's it has the wording up to.
Yeah, I read that, and I'm like, draw two? Because you could just check it offensively, draw a card, and then draw another card, pretty much. I love that.
So one thing I think is important before we get in the whole discussion is to first clarify what we think about this overtrigger in general, about how good it is and how whatnot, and then so we have a better baseline to compare it to like the nation overtriggers that most decks are using.
Okay, that's fine. We could do that. You can go ahead. You start the idea. Shoot.
Yeah, okay, so basically, essentially how I see this overtrigger is a card that gives at least one extra attack, because either you resend a rear guard, so that's +1 attack, or you cannot resend give a unit the resend ability, so you just draw a card and potentially call a card from hand. So it's, again, an additional attack. But it does have the same application as the other Cray Element overtrigger, that it potentially generates 2 100 million power attacks, as the other one can spread them out, and this one can potentially put it on a unit that resends, which is interesting. It puts more emphasis on your rear guard attacks essentially. So as I believe Matt pointed out earlier in the stream, that is more for rear guard centric decks. But at the same time, it can be somewhat awkward in the case that if you cannot abuse the restand all too much, or in the early game where you don't have the right targets to potentially call something out, or you have a deck that relies on your units being rested the moment you have dry check. So this also doesn't really do as much. So it's a powerful rearguard tool, but it does have its drawbacks in certain situations.
Okay. So I'll just ask what the new overtrigger does. It pretty much restands one of your rear guards. You draw a card and call a card if you don't restand something, ideally, if you don't have anything to choose. To your point, I pretty much agree. I actually think outside of the minus of it being more rearguard focused, I think this is a straight like 9 out of 10 OT. I think in almost every situation, as a general over trigger, not of course like in certain decks or whatever, I think the general effect of it is actually insanely strong. The fact that you can check it early, still draw 2 cards, and still call something if you want. On-place abilities do activate off of this as well, so in case you draw into like good cards, you could just do that. So you have like that approach with it, and then also I think, you know, later on in the game it gets even better. So the later the game goes, that the OT gets better along with it. So I think that's a really powerful thing. And also, like I said, just having the multi-attack, I think it's just kind of nuts. And like you brought up and mentioned, welcome in, hello. But overall, I think it's a straight 9 out of 10. I also like the fact that it has a lot of usefulness behind it. Like it's not just like one mechanic; it's like kind of like multiple mechanics almost. Like if you compare it to the other over triggers, aside from the Stoichea one, like Breakate's like, yeah, double power. The Dragon Empire one's like restand Vanguard. Creo Mental is like 200 million. Like they're all kind of boring, but this one actually has like thought-provoking things that you need to think about once you check it, if that makes sense.
That's what I like about this particular design. I said it to some extent mimics a bit the feeling of the Monster Strike over trigger, if you do remember those, which basically had 2 choices. You could say either get this effect or you get that effect. In this case, you don't get the choice, but it does have like 2 different effects in the case one effect doesn't really apply, so you get at least something else in trade-off for it. We just need to have.
Yeah, exactly. I also just think it's pretty much just a stand trigger. I know Matt just brought up it doesn't restand a rear. It does restand a rear. It takes a stood rear guard and makes it restand, essentially. So it is a multi-attack. You're essentially taking a rear guard and swinging with it twice, which is kind of the same thing as having a rested rear guard and restanding that rear. It's pretty much a stand trigger, just in like different wording. Of course, it does make certain decks awkward. A good example is Flagberg. Flagberg can't utilize this OT very well, in my opinion, but still very strong.
I mean, Flagberg does have potential to 6 attacks, right? So they could have
does.
like one unit left if they high roll. They have that 1 unit potentially still left.
Yeah, you would have to like leave one of your rear guards stood for it. It's just awkward because it's not bad. It's just awkward, but I mean, you can do it that way. You can just not. Sometimes you're put in situations where you have to attack with everything first, because say your opponent hits a defense or something, and your back row attacker will have the power. But if Flagberg will get extra power, sometimes you want Flagberg to be the last attack. Sometimes you don't. But for the most part, I think in a deck like Flagberg, it shows a lot of weaknesses. But it's because that deck is a rear guard attack first, Vanguard attacks last type of deck, and that's where that starts falling off. But we'll have to see. Like, as more stuff comes out and we get more things happening between all the decks, I think we'll just see it more. And I actually think that the OT is just amazing, with the idea of the fact that now you definitely don't know what your opponent's going to be playing, because now they have 2 OTs to pick aside from the Nation over trigger. And I'm not going to lie, this OT actually stacks up pretty well to most of the over triggers that are already in the game. So it really is like a, well, yeah, like if you're seeing Bastion, they could play the Bastion OT, you know, the header one, or they could play this. Like, you just don't know.
Yeah, that's the interesting part about it, is that it actually, like, in some decks it's very obvious that this is going to outcompete certain over triggers, but in others it's like still 50-50-ish, which makes things wonder, okay, do I prepare for this OT or do I prepare potentially for that OT?
Yep, exactly. Well, I get to see one more, as people are saying in the chat too. There's actually another one coming, which I'm kind of excited for that one too. I know people hate the over triggers, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of hyped to see how these just how they all synergize.
Yeah, it's always really curious, especially once I get these wacky skills that we see right now that can potentially change the way how you start into a game or into potentially building your decks. Which also brings to the fact that we're gonna do this again in 2 days or something.
Yeah. Time to collab once more. Let's go.
Yeah, let's
Collab-a-thon. All right. Anyway, let's get started. So I don't know the name of the Dragon Tree guy, but the Dragon Tree guy is our first one.
Okay, want me to try to butcher the name, because I believe it's called Giffogilia or something like that.
Okay, now you got me curious. How do you actually say this card's name?
Because they're like a GHOP.
What set is this from? I don't even know. That's how...
Dragon Tree.
Okay, it's literally the recent one. Okay.
Yeah, it's literally the Dragon Tree set. It's that one. one.
Okay. Dragon Tree of the Elliptic Decimation Griffogilla?
Yeah,
Griffogilla?
Yeah, I pronounce it Gila, the last part. Gila.
Griffogilla? What a weird name. All right, so this one's kind of weird because it's kind of like for all nations type of deck, because you can. So honestly, I'm going to say that it will be used depending on the deck you build. So I think it's a yes.
Yeah, it's like basically a cop out because like certain over triggers are definitely gonna be preferred more with the deck. Like let's say for example the Dragon Empire will probably be more beneficial, but then you have like the Dark States over trigger. Yeah, why would you want to have a Dark States over trigger by turn 6? That will do nothing for you at that point. So.
Fair enough. Matt mentioned that it's like a rearguard only deck. I have no idea what this deck does. I haven't tested it. I haven't looked at it. The only thing I know is Astro Poets.
No, Matt. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a no existence deck. Like this deck just doesn't exist right now. Okay, let's be real.
I honestly, I think there's gonna be a future where this deck can wait, let me read this card. During your turn, this unit gets power 5k for each of your Dragon Tree markers on rearguard circle. If you have 3 or more, it gets a crit, blah, blah, blah. When it attacks a Vanguard, choose up to 1 calamity card from your ride deck, remove it. If you do not remove a card, choose an over trigger from your ride deck, reveal it, activate all the effects, remove it, stand all your rear guards. Well, no, see, that works. So when it attacks, you stand your rear guards, you check the... Oh, but you check the over trigger.
Yeah, okay, true. It doesn't even work. It doesn't even work. Okay,
put him down, put him down. That's so awkward.
Put him down the list. He doesn't...
Bye-bye. That's so awkward. So I think it's the first time I officially read the full text of that card. Like, actually, straight up. It's a cool card, but I've been ignoring it.
No. So it should be down the list because in your case, it's who are you again?
I'm just gonna. You're right. Let's put it down here. He can have his own personal slot. Actually, screw it. He gets a new row. He gets a big. This is what he gets. There.
just a why. Just why. Like what the.
It's so awkward. All right, so that's him. So we got him out of the way. So let's see who's next. We got Buff Sagra. So Buff Sagra, honestly, let's see how she usually gets a crit. He honestly prefers the. I honestly think this specific deck prefers the Dragon Tree, not the what the. Dragon Empire!
She's getting invaded by the Dragon Tree.
I'm going to start with the most ridiculous deck on the list. Anyway, this is all Curly's fault. It's always Curly's fault. Speaking of, I forgot to change the color of the. Oh wait, no, you can go down here. Forgot to change the color of it though. Let's give it a nice black color. No, never mind. Black looks weird. White. There.
White.
But or gray or flake white. I don't freaking know. Black white. Anyway, so yeah, so personally I think she prefers the Dragon Empire OT just because of the crit pressure and the front removal that she does prior. But I mean, 4 attack deck question mark?
Yeah, I feel like Dragon Empire, from my knowledge, doesn't have like insane rearguards with crazy on-attack skills or like crazy rearguard guard restrict, so you cannot abuse it right now.
True.
So I feel like the Dragon Empire overtrigger for her case, because she has a crit, becomes a natural advantage over the rest. So I would say it's probably in her case just it might be used in the future, but right now I don't think so. Like if we get a good generic rearguard attacker, then it could change. But right now I don't think it's.
That's fair. I think I agree with you. I think it's more towards the nope. I think we should state this. We're talking about like current and not like future decks coming out because we don't have that knowledge obviously. So we're just going based off the card pool we currently have, which is set 10 card pool and maybe some parts of Japanese card pool. But we don't have too much to work with. And so far, I'm with you on that one.
And in this case, it's just a big nope. Like the extra crit is just a nice feature to have.
All right, Overlord. I think Overlord falls under the exact same category. Their rearguards are very whatever. They're just kind of decent numbers. I think it's also a big nope, but
yeah. Plus, what's better than 2 Vanguard swings? 3 Vanguard swings. I know, right?
Homie said, "Why not restand another time?" Is this Gandiva or whatever that new bind deck?
Yeah.
So this one, I do know a little bit about it because my locals has been going super ham on testing this. The numbers on the rearguards get insanely high. Now, I don't know if that matters, but it's like a casual 34k to the front row sometimes.
Yeah, people are saying stride deck sets were a mistake. I'm saying, hello, have you heard of Gandiva, sir? Like, this is nuts. This deck is ridiculous.
It is. I agree.
I would say personally, he has no feature that gets extra advantage off the Dragon Empire overtrigger. So in this case, it's literally the choice of, do you want to have an extra rearguard swing or do you want to have an extra Vanguard swing? And I think in this case, because your rearguards already get this big, I think the new overtrigger is better for Gandiva than the Dragon Empire overtrigger, in my opinion.
I think it's a maybe. I'm leaning more towards maybe because it's just big number, and some people are saying
Yeah.
it has a crit on. The Vanguard has a crit on it too, so it'll be restating with the
Wait,
crit.
the Vanguard does have a crit?
I wouldn't know. I just know it has the
Oh,
has big
yeah,
rear
yeah, no,
guards.
no, it gets a crit.
So big nope.
No, I would say in this case
I
it's a
just stopped doing
maybe
that.
because the
Maybe.
rear, unlike any other Dragon Empire deck, the riggers actually come with pressure. So there is a merit to say I want to restand one of my riggers, but don't get the 100 million power there. Potentially also give the 100 million power to my Vanguard if it can break through with the crit or something. Like you have options in this case.
Is this deck a 3-attack deck?
Yeah. No, it's 4 or 5. You can get more attacks.
Yeah, then I definitely think it's more towards a no.
Because there is like, I know there is a card allow you to mid-battle get extra attacks off.
It's 4 to 5 attacks is what chat's saying, so I agree with that. I wouldn't know. I've only all I've done is I looked at the board state and the guy was like, yeah, Persona Ride plus 34k to my front row, and I was like, huh? That's all I know about the deck.
Oh yeah. It's what Matt. The grade 2 can tag out once the Vanguard attacks. So you tag with the rearguard, and then once the Vanguard attack, the grade 2 turns into something else from the top 5.
I'm distracted by the cat. Don't mind me.
Is she? What is she eating or licking there?
She's licking herself. What do you mean? What is she eating or licking? She's doing cat things.
Oh.
She's cleaning her. Are you on crack?
I mean, I'm sorry, Mrs. You have full HD 4HK cat near you. I'm looking at this small screen from my perspective.
Okay, I'm not even looking at her. I'm looking at the screen that's in front of me, and I see a cat licking herself. Not a what is she licking? What do you mean? What is she licking?
For all intents and purposes, it could have been a coat, okay? It could have been a coat or like a I don't know the English word for it that you have like around your neck. Scarf. It could have been a scarf for my old manner. Don't judge me.
Are you stupid?
Don't take your glasses off me, Molden.
I took off my glasses. My golly goodness, that was a sentence. So anyway,
the audacity.
Oh God, it's okay, Crystal. It's fine. I know he can be stupid. It's okay. He's ignoring me completely. Anyway, so back to Dragon Empire. Next is Jiva, which I think also Jeva. All right, hit me with your best shot.
I would say this is a big nope because Jiva has an on-attack skill that isn't the once per turn. So if you hit the Dragon Empire over trigger, you can do that skill again, which also gives you a Jiva skill is on attack, counterblast 1, restand a crossover dress unit.
Oh, okay. It's not once per turn?
No, it's not once per turn.
Oh, interesting. Change it to a furry creature. Oh no, now I'm going to a furry creature. Let me see if I can find it.
Wait, what?
I've been asked to be changed to a furry creature.
Oh, now I'm seeing. Huh. Okay.
I gotta find it though.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Harder.
I gotta find it though. It's been so long. Oh.
Okay.
I had to turn that off. 1 sec.
So while she's searching and finding for that, I can keep you guys entertained. Does anybody has a good knock joke for that I can use? Because I don't know.
Wow, you are the worst stand-up comedian I think I've ever met in my life.
I never said that I was one.
You're trying to be one right now.
No. I just asked the question. Does anybody have a good knock joke? That doesn't say that I'm a stand-up comedian.
The fact that the first thing you thought of is knock jokes already says a lot.
It is that my sighing doesn't pick up by the microphone. Otherwise, you will hear me a lot of sighing, and moaning, and groaning in the background here.
Yeah, that sounds about okay. I'm gonna unredeem that, and the reason being is because I actually do not have the program right now, and I'm scared that if I do, it might crash things. So I'm sorry to the person that redeemed that ninja. But I'll have to keep it off for the time being. Anyway. So Jiva says big nope.
Yeah, because also it's even in the case where you get the second part of the skill, you don't even want to call something in the early game because why do you want to call a crossover dress unit from your hand? Because
fair enough.
It doesn't
do
work
anything
that way.
Yeah, because it has to like stack underneath it and do all that funky stuff. That makes sense. I understand. Welcome in, hello. All right, next we have the other Nirvana thing. Your favorite.
Oh, Nirvana, yeah.
Yeah, the other dragon thing.
Yeah, so this Mahar Nirvana, I would say, is a maybe. Like, there's an argument to make for both, because you have, of course, Asperideas.
You can restand Asperideas twice.
Yeah, so your Asperideas will restand on the attack that your Vanguard swings, and then you can give the 100 melee power to the other column, because your Asperideas can already be for a big numbers, so they don't need more power. So you have the extra swing. But a triple drive restanding Vanguard is also pretty nice. So
yeah, that's a tough call.
So I would say it's a maybe. It depends on the player what they prefer more, because I would say twin drive restand against a rearguard that can potentially be for 100 million power. You could argue that the rearguard is probably better than the Vanguard, but in case of triple drive, there's more possibility of like hitting crits early on and getting more value and more pluses. So it's a different story then.
I think also depends, because personally, in my opinion, but usually if the opponent rides to the grade 4 and they have Asperidia out and they hit OT under it, it's kind of like the 6 drives becomes like a win harder button, in my opinion. But that's just me. Like, usually if they hit the OT under that, you're like, there's like a 99.9% chance that you're probably dead, especially since they already burnt you for some damage. Unless you somehow healed like super early and you're seeing like 2 damage, you're probably dying on the turn they hit OT under the grade 4 Nirvana. But that's just me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that's my opinion. So I actually think that in this case, like, I think the extra attack might be better, but I don't know. I'm not a Nirvana player. And also to the people that say I'm not reading chat, yeah, because I'm listening to this guy from I gotta focus on this thing. I have to babysit this for an hour.
What do you mean? Are you talking about Crystal, right? That's now.
No, Crystal's an adult. Look at her cleaning herself. That's an adult right there. This...
Wait, what are you inferring? No. What are you? No. What are you inferring here with that? What are you? No. What are you trying to say with that sentence? Because I'm not.
What do you mean? I'm not. This is a child. That's an adult. No, adult, don't leave. I need your assistance with the child. Okay, she's still there. I'm saying the obvious. Child, adult.
I'm older than you, by the way. Have respect for older people, okay?
Wow. Okay. You want your cane? Is your gray hair showing?
No, not yet, though.
Oh my god. So anyway, you heard the mic peak. I'm so sorry. That's what I was scared of. All right, we'll eventually get through all these decks.
Yeah, just in time for the second OT to get revealed.
Just in time for them to announce the other one. 100%. All right, I don't know this deck either. What is it? The Snake Boy.
Yeah, your guess is honestly as good as mine. I don't know what this does.
I love that spot for him.
So you can put it in Who Are You again, because I know it does something with binding. That's all I know. It does something with binding.
I'm gonna put both of them in there. There. Do you know what this one does?
Wait, you don't know what Shoji Doji does?
No, I do. I just don't care.
Oh, okay, fair enough. fair enough. I'm
just kidding. Where do you want to put him?
Honestly, I would say because his Vanguard attack skill is not once per turn, so I would say he's probably going to be staying on the Dragon Empire OT. Because his Vanguard on attack skill also recalls more units to the Bind Zone, from the Bind Zone to the field. So depending on how good the deck can set up, it could still say new OT, but it could say stay on Dragon Empire OT. But I would say maybe. I would put in maybe, because he can use both, essentially.
Well, I trust your judgment over mine, because in case it's not obvious, I don't play any of these decks. Someone, Matt, brought up that the Jiva has the guard restrict, which is true. I don't know if it changes it too much.
Matt, do you know what Jiva also does? He restands your Battle Door Rearguard on its own, so you get the same amount of attacks. It literally, you get the same amount of attacks, only now you have an extra Vanguard attack on top of that.
Well, anyway, the children are arguing.
All right, no. Have Curly and Matt, both of you, have you played Overdress right now? The deck does not worry with Counterblast anymore since Mirror is being revealed. We got Counterblast for days if you play the deck correctly, so that's no longer an issue anymore. This is why we said preemptively. No, this is why we said preemptively that you guys' list just suck. Like, do you understand? That's why we're doing this video right now to rectify the wrong opinions.
Sorry, let me cough. Oh my god, I'm dead. This
Wait,
is
what
this is
happened?
Eric argues with chat. Here, you want me to make you bigger? You want to argue with them more?
Oh no, I said my piece. I said my piece.
You don't have any more to say?
No, I said-
No? Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No. I have one more thing to say.
Okay,
Try
go
to
for
ban me now, Matt. I'm in the stream now. Stay in chat.
Oh my god. Alright, you can go back to being small again. Back to being a child. There you go. You're back to being a child again. Alright. So, we're going to Fox Girl now. And I think Fox Girl definitely prefers the Dragon Empire Overtrigger over the, I think that's just an obvious one.
Yeah. Perfect that you said it, because I saw Matt's video and I had to say one more thing about this particular thing that Matt got wrong. Matt said in his video, and I will explain, Matt overlooked the important thing, that he said this card will use the new Overtrigger, because I believe he said this one will not use the Overtrigger. Because I remember him saying that your rearguards, yeah, it said the old OT. But the thing is, Matt, you could potentially still use the new Overtrigger with this one as well, because you can keep your units on the field. You don't have to put them back into your soul. It's not mandatory if you don't use the booster initially on the first attack. So you have options. So you can use this with the new one, but you will still want to use the old one because of the extensive multi-attack. But you have the option to use the new one as well.
Alright, well I pet my cat, came back, you guys are still arguing about it.
No, I'm not arguing, I just explained something that Matt overlooked. Because he made the statement that you cannot use the new Overtrigger in Tamiyura, which you can, because he said your units go into the soul, but they don't mandatorily go to the soul. It depends if you use the grade 1 boosters. If you don't use them, the units stay on the board.
Well, I think it's mostly a nope. Mainly because the skill of just bringing back the dolls over and over again, I think is just stronger.
Yeah. There's no contest. This is all OT over all the way here.
Speaking Ninja.
100%.
All right, Barrow Magnus. I think Barrow Magnus is maybe situation. I think because it kind of just depends. Like, it's kind of again back to the whole win harder button thing. So the Vanguard already gets a crit, and then stacking the Dark States OT is like, okay, you get another crit now, but you normally have to perfect guard that anyway. So it kind of just doesn't really matter. It's unless you hit it early, the Dark States OT is better, obviously. But if you hit it late game, I actually think the new Overtrigger stands out more. Because like I said, the Vanguard is usually lethal anyway. Like you're usually swinging in lethal intervals where your opponent either has to PG or no guard. So you might as well just utilize the extra attack. What Crowley said, and I agree with this 100%. It's actually the first deck I thought of. That draw 2, if you hit it early, is actually massive because Barrow Magnus's hand is usually like literal dog shit. So I think just being able to just draw 2 cards early is massive. And you could also, if you want, you could call an early Soul Charger and Soul Charge if you want. Usually you don't want to do it that early, but you can. So I honestly think that that this one will most likely actually use the new Overtrigger because low-key Dark States OT isn't that crazy. So what are your takes?
I agree with 99% what you just said, except for like the last part, but that's out of context with the fact that the Dark State OT is not as good. I would say Dark State Trigger is
deck.
Yeah. Dark State Trigger is really good, but in this deck particular, it's a bit less because of the fact that it's a 1 Vanguard swing deck, and it already comes with natural crit pressure anyways. That extra crit on top of that gets diminished value over time, which is like, okay, it's fine. And I think what you said about the extra draw and the potential rearguard swings is probably a lot better, as Dark States also has a lot of tricky rearguards to deal with as well. So I can definitely see the value to be more with the new OT.
Yeah, I think it actually make this deck a lot stronger, but also half the time you Soul Charge it anyway. Oh wow, our first deck actually using the new OT. Look at that.
Oh my god.
That's crazy. I think Bruce falls under a pretty similar category, though kind of depends on how you build it. And sorry, excuse me, I'm like low-key dying.
Yeah, I had the same issue. I was muting the mic every time.
I'm good. I'm good now.
Okay, so we're both dying of the same thing. Good, good.
Well,
good
I don't
to
know what I'm dying from, but anyway, I'm glad we're both coughing and dying, I suppose. Bruce kind of falls into a similar category. I don't know if the grade 4 Bruce is on here. Is the grade 4 Bruce on here? I was gonna say, if you build a grade 4 Bruce, you definitely would rather.
I see the grade
Okay.
4 boost.
I was gonna say, because the grade 4 Bruce I think works better with the new OT, because you can generally get, like, if you, depending on how you build the deck, if you build more high roll towards the crits and front row power, then the new OT works better. But if you build towards like a more consistent build, then I actually think the Dark States one is better.
Wait,
That's
wait.
just
Are
me.
you talking about the grade 4 or the grade 3 version now?
So grade 4 version uses the new OT better, and the grade 3 version uses the Dark States OT better.
Wait,
but to be honest, they both can use them.
I would say the grade 4 is actually the old one because you have a restanding Vanguard.
What do you mean it's
The grade 4 Bruce restands your entire front row, including the Vanguard.
I forgot about that. That's at the end of battle. I forgot it's not on attack. Yeah, that's my bad. I forgot about that. Fair enough. Never mind. Grade 4 Bruce doesn't work with it at all. Grade 4 Bruce prefers Dark States one. That's unfortunate, because I thought with all the crit and front row pressure, it'd be way more interesting to use the new one.
Doesn't the grade 3 version have a build that has like a grade 3 that gains crits and whatnot?
Yes, there is. It's very high roll, but yes, you can build towards what is his name, Julian or Brian? I don't know. It's some kind of some Diablo's unit, but pretty much the effect says Soul Blast 2, 5k and a crit to the front row.
Yes.
So yeah.
Because of that, I think like the grade 3 variant probably will use the new OT because of the fact that you have that one, but you also have Eden, which has like a crit as well. So having like multiple rearguards swinging for big numbers with crits as well makes a restand unit way more pressure, which is way better in my opinion.
Yeah, it gives the Vanguard the crit. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, because it gives the Vanguard the crit, it makes the Dark States OT less viable in my opinion.
Yeah, and then Eden is your rearguard with a crit pressure, which then you can reset a unit with crit pressure.
I don't know. I think it just depends on deck building personally. So I'm gonna throw it in the maybe category. I think it depends on the deck. Because Brian is only using the grade 4 Bruce, but you can use them in the grade 3 Bruce, right? Like, it doesn't specify.
Doesn't the grade 3 variant of Bruce also have the unit that gives Battle Glory?
Does it wait what?
Doesn't the Quinley Lu? That's like the Battle Dory.
Quinn Lu, like, yeah, but again, we're talking about super high roll stuff here. By the way, this is like the anomaly. Like, nobody really plays this. But you can build a deck around it if you wanted to. We're not over here saying like this is like 100%. You're always gonna play Brian in your decks. It's just the fact that you can, and it exists, and you can run this OT with it. So.
No, I know that Queen Lu can be used in any deck, but we're talking about Bruce right now, people. Come on, catch on here. Jesus Christ. This is why we are here now, okay? You guys did your video.
Eric's not okay. Anyway, long story short, I think depending on the build you create, and that could be used in future terms as well, because Quinn Lu is a guard restrict, Eden is a thing, the grade 3 Brian's a thing. On top of the regular stuff with all the other stuff, I don't remember all the names of the cards, but Leonard and everything else, like the other build, the more consistent build with the Dobers and stuff like that. I think depending on the build you choose to go for, you can gauge which OT you want to run. And since the on attack, as people mentioned it, you do the restand, the new OT does work with grade 3 Bruce as well. So I think either way you're fine.
No, I agree with that.
So I think it's a maybe. To me, it's a maybe. It's more leaning towards probably no, but it's in the maybe category. Plus, it's a very, I don't know. I just think there's been so many weird things that people have been running in Bruce. I think right now there's a very specified line of deck building, but it could change.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I like the maybe category. Jet. I think Jet's a no.
No, that's a big no. There's not even discussion, and it all has to do with Chrono Jet. Like, literally, Chrono Jet GB2 stick. Like, it's ridiculous with the Dark Side's OT. It's ridiculous.
No, I agree.
Plus, our rearguards literally do nothing. We have like beat stick rearguards essentially after the matter of the fact.
Sometimes so even beat stick. Sometimes it's just 16 at your Vanguard.
So getting a restand on that doesn't give you extra value. Besides, any other deck already has that value. So
I think right now it's definitely a nope. I can definitely see in the future where it could change. But for the most part, because you're not usually when you're playing Jet, you're not like going into the Garter Strict route every single turn. You're actually utilizing the other stride more. But even under that stride, I just think having the triple drive with the crit pressure, if you hit the Dark States OT early enough too, I think the crit pressure under the triple drive, under the multi attack, with the front row GB active, I just think it's just overall the better.
Matt,
the better route.
Matt, what are you on about with the deck focus? Any Jet deck is literally the same deck. It has both strides. You go into whatever is the best option for the moment in the game. There's no focus. I'm confused.
Cat's gone. I'll put her.
No, Crystal.
Yeah, she's actually right by my chair right now, but I can't move the camera. You guys will see my feet more than you'll see the cat. If some people are into that, but anyway, I disagree with Matt here, 100%. So it's okay. I'm on your side.
Nice, thank you.
I think Matt scared Crystal off because he said if you build towards the other stride, then you can run the new OT.
I know, right?
She came to me because she's like, "Mommy, did you hear that?"
As I cannot take this bad opinion. So, no.
No feed string, good. I don't like feed either. Don't worry. I think they're gross. Jejeweled. I'm trying to remember. Do the restanders happen at the end of the Battle of Vanguard attack or when your Vanguard attacks?
That's a very good question. Let me look up if I can find those cards.
Because I don't play this deck too much. I did at some point, but not too much anymore.
It's a grade 2, right?
Everything restands when the Vanguard attacks. I think it's like it might be a grade 3. Could be. I do not remember. No. I don't even know if I'm on the right thing. It's a 2. When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater, blah blah. When you Soul Blast 4 more cards at the same time off your Vanguard's ability, if your opponent's Vanguard. Okay, so it does happen on attack because you do the effect on attack.
Yeah, it's on attack. So it's this is basically it comes down to what you value more, and I think in this case, I would say the new might be better in most cases. I think it's a maybe with probably more leaning towards the new OT. Because the drill doesn't really do anything besides, okay, here's my Vanguard that swings and now my Rigger's gonna do some stuff. But they're all, after the fact, they're just beaters? I
was gonna say the Vanguard gets a crit. So honestly, I just think the new OT is better.
Yeah, true. If they also get a crit, then the extra crit on top of that becomes less impactful at that point. Like, don't get me wrong, having 3 crit Vanguard swings is nice, but at some point, the value of that starts to diminish in the game.
I think it just depends on what your opponent's holding. That's it. But yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna give that a yes. Next is the mask cards are in here. Not gonna lie, I haven't been following the mask stuff at all.
In Drajul's case, it's literally the same deck.
So up it goes.
Yeah, there's one build of Drajul, and that's the mask build.
All right, next we have oh god, here we go again with this card and the other card that I was confused.
No, it's very easy. That's very easy. It's a resetting Vanguard. Give him the OT, the old one, the Dark States OT.
Big no.
It's a resetting Vanguard. That's all we need to know.
Oh, Greedon falls under the same category.
Yeah, Greedon is very easy. Dark States OT.
There is no rear cards.
Literally, Greedon's whole thing is my rear guards do not attack. So okay, we're not attacking. With
Imagine you like run the new OT anyway, and then you like screw yourself.
You run the new OT to say, haha, I can swing with my rear guard because it keeps standing, so I can still reset my Vanguard.
But you wouldn't want to do that. That screws yourself because they have to be all the rear guards have to be stood to put into soul to restand the Vanguard.
You attack with the rear guard and then it restands because of the OT effect.
But you're already attacking with Vanguard. At the end of his battle, you have to do that effect first, and then you have to suck it into soul. So
yeah, but then you call a new field.
Well, yeah, you call a new field, but the new field does not have the OT active anymore.
No. It's on battle, I believe. You call a new field, and then you get your drive check.
No, I'm not too sure. I think it depends on when you soul blast and what you're soul blasting with, and what you're no, it's at the end of the battle.
It's at the end of the battle. Okay. At least it doesn't matter. It's a triple resetting Vanguard. It's Dark States.
Oh, I'm actually curious. At the end of the battle, this attack, you do the soul blast. So you have to attack first, shove everything into soul essentially, and then spit everything back out. So if you were to hit the OT, rear guard circle, you lose all the effects because they're going in.
No. It says 4 rear guards. So if you have 5 rear guards.
Okay, smarty pants. That's awful. Okay, because first of all, if you want to restand multiple times, you need that 5th rear guard. Okay.
Yeah,
other
yeah.
things.
So no,
For
no.
other
Listen. What? Listen to what I say. The rearguard is standing. You put the over trigger effect on that rearguard. You swing and it restands. And now you do the Vanguard again. So you got an extra attack on the rearguard.
It's so not worth it.
Now, I'm not saying it's worth it, but it's just to say, haha, I swing with the rearguard and it's still full power agreed on.
Sigh. Biggest sigh of my life. Chaos. Chaos is definitely maybe. In my opinion.
What does Chaos actually do?
So Chaos has the effects of if you have 13. Well, first of all, there's two effects because both of these matter. It's around the grade 3 that restands and Chaos. So Chaos effect says if you have 13 or more in Soul, you give everything 10k power. If you have 8 or more in Soul, you give 1 unit 10k power. Then the grade 3 Makani states that if you have if you have 8 or more in Soul, you restand him. And you can have 2 in the front row and have them both restand, essentially. So, ideally what you want to do is you want to swing with the rears first. Oh yeah, you swing with the rears first, swing with Chaos, they restand, and then you can put the OT on them to have one of them restand again. And the columns will usually be anywhere between 13 and 78. So...
Wait, 78?
Yes.
How? What?
Because again, Chaos gives 10k to the front row, to the whole board that isn't himself. And then
so it's plus 20k to the columns.
Yes, it's plus 20k to the columns. And then let me just make sure. Let me read this right. When your Vanguard attacks, yeah. So it's when your Vanguard attacks, they restand. So you can utilize the OT and have a pretty much another attack. But yeah, the numbers get insane. That deck has like insane numbers.
Okay,
oh yeah, the order also gives power. Yeah, I forgot about the order. The order. So you pretty much play the order. You play the order, put it on something, get some boosters that just hit for huge numbers. You have Swirler active, which also makes everything big. If you're under Persona, it's even huge, bigger than that. And then you just swing with the rears, swing with Van, the rears restand. If you hit OT, guess what? Another Makani's restanding. That's 6 attacks under like very large columns.
Yeah,
so,
in this case, I will probably
activate
advocate for the new OT in this deck.
I think it's a maybe.
Because the Vanguard doesn't really do anything besides just activating the rest, and it's like a small beater that doesn't get crits or anything.
But, so the reason why I think it's a maybe is nothing on Vanguard gets power unless there's like some weird crap you're running that gives Vanguard specifically power. I think there's like a card or two, but you wouldn't want to run them. So because the Vanguard is always 13, I actually think that Dark States OT does matter in some situations because Dark States gives the 10k and the crit. Which, as you just mentioned, Chaos doesn't do anything as a Vanguard, so the Dark States OT would give this pressure where there isn't pressure. Because normally you swing with Chaos, if you don't have a booster behind it, it's literally just 13. If you do have a booster behind it, it can be like anywhere between 13 and 38 or so. But still, it has no crit pressure, nothing on it. So I personally think the Dark States OT can be useful, but I also think the new OT can be useful. That's why I think it's somewhere in the middle, where I think one, it's depending on the build, but two, I think it's just, I just think the Vanguard is the most non-lethal thing that you have to deal with.
So essentially what you're saying, and if this is what you're saying, and I agree 100% agree with it, is the Dark States OT works on the weakness of the deck, whereas the new OT works on the strength of the deck.
Essentially, yes. So it's kind of up to you.
That's fair.
And depending on how you build the deck, you usually will be not randomly soul charging for the most part, but you'll actually be selectively soul charging off the order. You'll randomly soul charge early on, but as the deck gets more compressed, you'll actually be selectively soul charging. And if the OT is still in deck, the chances of you hitting it is actually extremely high. So you'd be surprised. As long as you don't like randomly soul charge in like the first like 2 turns, once you hit grade 3 turn, if your OT is still in deck, you usually will check it.
You heard it here, folks.
So I've been testing this deck a lot.
Guaranteed by the orange here.
You
will hit your OT.
You will probably, because your deck will be around like 8 cards, and it's all triggers usually. There'll be like maybe 1 normal unit, and the rest will be like crits, heals, triggers. Like unless you like super terribly soul charge early with like Pony or other like swirler effects. But the order itself straight up says decked in 5 cards. As long as they're not, you don't want to deck in the triggers, obviously. So if you like open up, if you look at top 5 and they're all normal units, guess what? All 5 are going into soul. You just decked in 5 cards out of deck. So the decked in's like crazy. So personally, I think I don't know. I've tested the deck and I've hit the OT so many times, but that's just me.
I mean, fair enough. Enough.
But anyway, long story short, I think it's a super 50-50. I think it's player's choice. Whatever they want to go for.
That's fair.
And also, as chat mentioned, and I brought up a little bit earlier, but Quinn Liu is a thing, and though I don't think running Quinn Liu is like crazy good. It's not bad, but the thing is, because it's a Highlander deck and you're running a ton of one-ofs, the chances of you actually proccing Quinn Liu won't always happen. But you can't call it out of soul and then shove her back in. But usually you want the boosters to be on the board. So Quinn Liu is a sometimes maybe situation, so I don't think that guard restrict applies too often. But it is still something to note. So yeah. That was a lot of chaos to discussions. You still alive?
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Okay, still alive. Got it. Guys, we got to do better.
I'm just imagining how many people I'm gonna piss off with the next one.
Oh, Luke here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an either or, right?
I feel like this is more towards the new one than Chaos, in the sense that Lukier can at least make some numbers, but also Lukier. I feel like Nuclear doesn't need to do old OT all too much because your main pressure comes from your rear guards anyways.
I think it's either or, because you can whip out the dragon and then have the other side restand, since the dragon already restands himself essentially. She gains no power. That is true. Her number. Well, I mean, it depends. You can run that one dragon that says power 5k to the front row, and then plus persona. So she's usually 28, and then if you put like a booster behind, which will usually gain power. So if you call something from soul, your opponent's on grade 3 or greater, you give the extra 5k. So say it's an 8k, now it's a 13k. So now she's swinging for 26, 31, 41. So honestly, I think it just varies on what your board state is, and what's in soul, what you're calling out.
Like last time I played a game against Lukier,
so
like the Vanguard didn't come below
36.
like 30k for a couple of turns, so I'm like, 36 enough numbers.
So 36 is the highest she can get to. But I'm sorry, I thought the rising thing gave it to front row. If it gives it to rear guards, it's still really high in my opinion. I don't know. It's kind of like a hit or miss. I think you can go either way. I think having 5 attacks under Lukier's big number pressure is pretty good, but I can understand the Vanguard pressure, because personally, I think the rear guard swing for super big and restanding like a 58k column again. And then putting the 100 mil somewhere else, I think is actually chaotic. Like those numbers get huge.
Like the advantage of Lukier with having these big numbers, and this goes for any deck that can generate big numbers, is you can still put the 100 million power on your Vanguard if they have like an OT to pass and still get the full value, because the moment you have like a 50 to 60k rear guard that's restand, at that point with that numbers and with the lack of potential shield, it doesn't matter if it's like 60k or 100 million, it's still a PG or GG at that point for a lot of times.
I'm kind of with you. I'm leaning more towards the new OT. I know Matt is disagreeing with us, but I'm with you. I just think the deck makes insanely good numbers, and actually under Persona, that deck gets insanely scary. I do not like facing that deck when they have all the rising dragons and they have the order active and they have the full board call, and it gets scary. I think an extra attack is actually what would make the deck even more stronger than it already is.
Matt, in the same argument, let's say it's the final. I get that the OT, Dark's OT, the earlier you hit it, the better it is.
You have to
but
hit
then
it.
But then the same argument is that the later you hit it, the worse it is, and then the later you hit it, the new one gets better. Because the later the game, how more impactful that effect is going to be.
Also, like, Lukier doesn't really deck thin that often or do anything super crazy. She does some stuff, not saying she doesn't do it at all, but I think because of the fact that in my opinion, I think you have a very low chance of hitting the overtrigger under Lukier, is what I'm getting at, essentially. Because you have like the early ride line stuff, which just does get you some stuff going. And then after that, it's all like draw. Well, sorry, it's attack with rear guards, attack with Vanguard, restand whatever, put stuff into soul, draw a card, and rinse and repeat, and you're not really doing much else, right? So you have like selective soul charge that you're doing between all your like boosting effects and everything, but after that, it's I don't know. I think you need to get really lucky to check the OT to begin with. Like, it has to be very situational. There's nothing the deck provides that like helps you deck thin to check it more often. So that means the chances of you checking it early is even more unlikely to happen. So I definitely think the new OT in this case varies.
And the advantage that Lukier has over a couple of other decks is that you will probably always have a field. So you'll always have a target to restand to get more value out of the overtrigger.
Yeah. I agree. We're both against Matt. I'm towards the new OT.
Sorry, Matt.
It's for most of these. I mean, yeah, it's just like there's some decks that deck thin a lot faster than other decks, and this deck really is definitely on the lower end of that. And I think the 5th attack actually matters a lot more than the crit on the Vanguard, because even compared to Jet, like Jet deck thin's like crazy early on. Like even that deck thins early, and you're
I mean,
constantly crawling and putting stuff back. You can even put the OT back. Like
the thing is, Jet doesn't really deck fit. It just draws a lot.
Well, depends. If you're running the grade 1 and you're constantly discarding it for the grade 3s, you're directly deck thinning cards, and then later on you're sending cards back and putting it back. But you can also send the OT back. So you can guard within. Well, actually, you can put it on the board and send it back if you really want to. So just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's the advantage we do have.
But long story short, I think look here, new Overtrigger over old Overtrigger. But that's just me. But I also don't think the Dark States OT is that powerful to begin with.
Yeah, it's
like okay.
It's a gamble. Like the problem is people tend to see it as, "Oh, I hit it on my very first turn." Yeah, but the chance of
you have to hit it on your very first turn.
Is so low. Like typically you hit it like on your turn 3, 4, 5. Like, and in those stages, then it's the matter of, does that really impact the game all too much? Like some decks, yes. Like in Chrono Jet, absolutely, because of the guard restrict being a thing. And then you have next stage going from 2 Vanguard swings with 1 having a guard restrict. That just is a game changer at that point. But for some decks, it just isn't. It's just a 1 Vanguard swing deck. Then what are you going to do with that extra power? Unless your deck could really use the value, like Chaos, for example, as it doesn't really do anything with the Vanguard.
Yeah, I also just think, as weird as it sounds, the crit is a double-edged sword. Like, there's a reason why in Premium people weren't playing the OT that much, because they didn't want to give the opponent damage. In this case, you're putting your opponent at higher damage, which means you're risking them, like, just healing out all the time. Like, you get swing for 2, and then they just go back down. If you know what I mean? Yep. Like, because healing is just so much more potent, especially in D. I also think that goes against you. Yeah,
or you negated heal on your side because they are at 5. And
exactly.
You could have healed if they were at 4.
They're always going to be at higher damage, so if you check it early, they can just keep healing back down. Which, by the way, it's happened to me. My opponent checked OT, like turn 1, and I'm like, oh, cool, you have a 10k at a crit fest the game. And then I still won because every time they tried to kill me, I just kept healing back down, and then they just never could kill me. And then I won. So, it's a double-edged sword. That's why I don't think the OT is that good to begin with.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Unica. Unica, I think, is new OT focused because she gets a lot of pressure on her Vanguard anyway. Triple drive, crits, retire, and then her rear guards, and it's a 3-attack deck, if I remember correctly. So because it's a 3-attack deck, the fourth attack could be useful because the numbers actually get pretty high. Like, she stacks 5Ks based off how many times you Soul Blast. So
I would say this could be. Yeah, I think it depends.
Maybe.
It depends here. Does she does get an additional crit, right, or not?
Yes, as long as you meet the conditions, yes. She gains a crit, a draw, an extra drive, and she retires something. That's like full effects. And then if on top of that, if you Soul Blast, which you will be with the effects, you can stack 5Ks on your board.
I think for Unica, I would say you can say both because there is advantage. Because she gets extra drive checks, it's more likely you will hit it earlier on. And because of that, the Dark States becomes a bit better because you hit it earlier on. So it can matter more in a game.
That's fair.
Resending riggers in the deck, it can be useful because you have like your riggers are like mainly beaters in most cases.
Mm-hmm.
So, and because it's only a 3-attack deck, going from 3 to 4 attacks is pretty significant. Unlike like going from 4 to 5, it's less significant at that stage. So I can see it being both ways, depending on what you prefer more as a player.
Maybe it is. I'm more leaning towards the new OT personally, but I think I can understand maybe as well. So that's where I feel. I don't play the deck, but my locals loves this deck. I faced it so many times in the last couple weeks.
And did they say anything specifically, or then?
What?
Did any of the players say something specifically over the new OT, or no words?
No, we haven't talked about it because it's it just came out. I don't go to locals on Tuesdays or anything. So
fair enough.
But I don't know. I'm kind of weird on it. I think it's more towards the new one because of the crit value she gets. But that's just me. I think new OT. I think it's more new OT. I don't think there will be that many opportunities where you'd rather run the Dark States one.
Yeah, I do agree. Like the only advantage I see for this particular, for like other Dark States decks that are like no extra benefit, is just the fact that she can have extra drive checks.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's higher chance for her to potentially hit the OT. That's the only advantage here. That's the only advantage she has over most of them.
No, I agree. The other ones that we've kind of put in this category don't usually have an extra drive. So yeah, I think still new OT regardless, just because of the crit alone.
Yeah, no, that's.
All right, what does old new Unica do?
New Unica is also a unit that has triple drive potentially.
I'm gonna
And
try
you
to
can buy
find
a
her.
crystal list, choose one of your fingers instead. It restants your rearguards on attack.
Oh, really?
Choose one. So it's a 4-attack deck.
So you choose one to restand it. So definitely the new OT then.
Um,
Sounds to me like the new
yeah,
OT.
I would say Nudity because the Vanguard also gets extra power on top of it. Because no, it's that. Yeah, the Vanguard can get like a massive power buff. So the extra 10k from the Darkseid OT will have diminishing returns at that stage.
Mhm.
So I would say new OT as well because you have the 5 attacks.
Shoot, this is
Or
the drives and the
potentially-
crits. I need to. I'm just gonna read her. I don't know what she does.
No. The new one also has triple drive. And it has retire.
I'm just gonna look for it. 'Cause I don't know. I don't follow this enough. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, this is so far up. Where is Unica? Unica.
Yeah,
Unica.
it's not Unica. She's not called Unica. It's
She's not
Astroea.
called Unica.
Yeah, it's Xeno Almagistar Astroea equals Biko Mask.
What the hell?
Yeah, don't ask me who came up with that name, but Jesus.
It's the same one like Great equals Zorga. It's like why?
Yes, yeah.
I'm still looking for her. Don't mind me.
It's in Dragon Masquerade, and it's number 5 is a triple R.
Oh, I'm just looking at my Discord. I was just scrolling up for a while.
Nice.
I'll just eventually find it, right?
Should I just? You know what? I will send you a link in Discord. Here you go.
Yeah,
This is
thank
where the
you.
card is.
I
think this
appreciate
will
it.
work better.
That definitely helps. All right. When it would be written from a grade 3 with Astray in its card name. This card can only be written from a grade 3 with Astray in its card name. Move an Astray and a different card name from hand, soul, or drop. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards retire. This unit gets +1 drive. When this attacks, counterblast, so blast 3, bind all your critical triggers. Oh, wait, add. For the cost, choose one of your guards, stand it, and this unit gets 5k power to the turn for every 2 critical triggers in your bind. So this was the crit. It has the drive, but no crit.
Yeah.
But you get the restand.
Yeah.
She gets power though for every 2 crits in your bind, which is actually very interesting because if the stacks late game, she gets actually very big.
And you, don't forget you have Persona right numbers as well.
You do have Persona right numbers. I think this is a maybe.
This is a maybe because
This one's more of a
enough,
maybe.
It's like the opposite of the other Unica because it gets 4 attacks, so getting the extra attack is less valuable, but it loses the crit, so having the extra crit is more valuable.
I think it's player preference because you can look at it from both ways. You can be like, oh, I want an extra attack, or you could be like, I want an extra crit on my Vanguard. I think either or would work. So that's just me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Fair enough.
The next one is going to be very easy.
Nope.
Because we already discussed that one.
Yep, we did. Vinemont's Bruce.
Okay, this is an interesting one.
Doesn't he restand a column?
Yeah, he resends the column.
On attack or at the end of battle?
That's a good question. Let me look this up.
Weirdly enough, this crap matters. Here it is. I'm pretty sure it's on attack. When you see an attack,
at the
counterblast, you restand.
Yeah, it's when his unit attacks. So,
Vietnamese Bruce, yes. Very
no, not
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. It's very close, but it's not Vietnamese.
No, he is today. He's the community has spoken. He's Vietnamese Bruce.
Honestly, I think it's up to the player in this case.
I think it's the same as the grade 3, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's kind of the same. I think it's more of a no.
I would say it's less impactful on the rearguards department because your rearguards are also just beat sticks.
But remember, the Vanguard has triple drive too.
Wait, it does?
Off of the Diablos units, it'll have triple drive. You run the girl that says.
Oh, if you have the girl, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So I'm not too sure. It's a hard call.
Yeah, this is tricky. This is really tricky, honestly, because your rearguards themselves aren't really interesting enough because most of the Diabolos units are like beat sticks, except for like specific combo pieces, but those tend to go. Oh, true, Eden is a thing.
Yeah, Eden's a thing, so you can restand Eden too. Maybe
But
it
Eden
goes.
has crits. Eden has crits.
So let's say maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a maybe, but I tend, because Eden exists, tend to maybe hinge more towards new OT. But it's probably still maybe, solid maybe.
I think maybe. I like maybe. I think again it just goes back to the whole how you build your deck type of thing. Because some run Eden, some run less, some run other stuff. I don't know. There's too many cards that are Bruce support.
Fair.
They're all weird.
Fair enough.
For grade 4 Bastion, I would say
nope. You don't play it. You don't play it. It's at the end of the battle that he restand.
Oh, fair enough. Goodbye. I believe you. This is the Persona Ride guy. The one that if you Persona Road, your back row gets 10k too. So this one is kind of like Chaos almost, where the numbers get really big and you have a 4th attack behind Vanguard. Usually that card that's back there will be able to swing. So it's a 4 attacking deck that with pretty decent numbers on the Persona. And depending on how you build it, you can build it super aggro, where you have like rear guards that also gain numbers off of each other. Graham Grace, that's his name. I faced him recently. It went to deck out. It was a very close call because he keep drawing. But personally, yeah. I think the new OT is better because I don't think the drive checks really matter in this deck, especially since most of it is grade 1s and 2s. You can run 3, some run a Casado and stuff like that, but it's not like mandatory. So I think the new OT value is valued more here.
Yeah, you have the new promo grade 3, which is the main combo play of the deck. That gives your Vanguard also an extra drive check. So
I actually did not know about that card. That's valid. I've only played it with the old stuff.
Yeah, the promo grade 3, that thing is pretty good for Graham Grace, and then it gives your Graham Grace, I believe, triple drive, and it goes and it itself is like a 23k something attacker as well.
Ew.
So I would say maybe depending on your build, because I think the new build might still with the promo you can say, well, the over trigger might be useful because of the extra drive check because you come with big numbers, so the twin drive matters, but having that extra rearguard attack probably is better in most scenarios because of deck out also being a thing, as the deck tends to draw a lot.
Yeah, I think it's new OT focused more so than the Keter OT. I just think the Keter OT sucks ass. Like, I just think all Keter players should just pretend the Keter OT never came out after this. Well, that's just me.
You really don't like the Keter OT, do you?
It's terrible. You know how many times that it's stupidly annoying because if the card is terrible, why is it choice restricted in premium then? Because premium has a win con, Eric, where you stack the freaking card. It doesn't even matter what it is. You stack 100 million.
Wait, was that card choice restricted with all OTs?
With Ultima. It's choice restricted with Ultima. You pick one or the other. You can't play both.
Oh, I thought it was just specifically the Keter OT.
This old man over here.
Woman.
It's the Keter OT is restricted. Well, actually, I think it's well. Anyway, regardless, it's restricted. Long story short, you can't play it with Ultima. And the reason being is literally because of Ultima's effect. It has nothing to do with the OT. Or it has nothing to do with the OT skill on it. It has to do with the way Ultima utilizes the skill. Because your whole board gets 100 million power. The whole freaking board.
Is it also the reason why Spangled died for Great Nature Sins?
Totally.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I actually don't know. But apparently, because you can stack it. Or do some weird Great Nature stuff. I don't really know. I don't play Great Nature like that. I've heard about it for a while, but I don't know too much. Anyway, Keter OT sucks. So, long story short. Hexa Orb, definitely new OT. 4 attacks go burr.
Yeah.
But that's an autofill? Wait, what do you mean Hexa Orb can't use the new OT? Why can't she use the new
OT?
No,
he's talking about the new one, not the old one. The old one can't use the new one.
No, he just said Hexa Orb can't use the new OT either, so that's an autofill. Why can't Hexa use the...
Why can normal Hexor not use the new OT?
Okay, I need to read this card again. It's been a while.
What are you on about, Matt? You just swing with Vanguard. You have a standing rearguard. What are you on about? Yeah, but that's if you play those cards.
Oh, well, who the hell plays the high roll cards?
You can also, Matt, just not play those overcosted restands. Because some of those restands are overcosted.
Who's even playing those cards? Oh wait, I just realized I'm on my. That's my.
Also, isn't like Matt? You forget one thing. You can hit a normal trigger, restand, and then hit the OT. Because you know what Hexorb does? It puts a stand trigger on top of your deck, or I mean, a front trigger on top of your deck.
I don't see restanders in here.
No, that's the new version. That's
Oh,
the
that
new
is the new version. I need to go back.
The new version cannot use the new OT. That I know.
Why can't the new one not use it?
Because the new one's restand ability is at.
Oh wait,
after
she has a
you-
restander? Sorry, I didn't even know she could restand.
Wait, have you read the new Hexorb at all?
I haven't read any of the new cards from the recent
Oh
set.
my god, you call yourself a content trader.
Have I created any content on the new cards? No.
You're doing it right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm reading right now. I'm learning.
No, currently I know about Hexorb, but apparently this
God, Hexorb doesn't exist.
uneducated child
Hexorb
doesn't
is
know
not a
anything.
deck.
You know what? I have to re-educate this child over here. Okay, so
You don't need
Orange.
to educate me on shit. Okay, so here's a normal ass Hexorb deck. I don't see a single restander in here.
Isn't I don't know if any of those grade 2s are restanders. I know the two right ones aren't restanders.
No,
but I
this
don't
is
know
a
about the two-
this is a big number. This does drawing some
Yeah, that's a
shenanigans.
big
I don't
number
remember
as
what this
well.
does. This is
I
more
think that's a resource
charging.
card potentially.
I think these are all resource cards too, except this one. I think this is what does this do? I don't see restand. Actually, we could just look at the icons. No
That's the
restand,
counter
no
charge?
restand, no restand.
No restand.
Definitely
actually,
no
restands.
restand.
Yeah,
No restand.
Matt,
No restand. No
your
restand.
theory has been disproven. No restands.
You can run it. It's just bad. I think it's bad to run that stuff.
Most of the restands are very
The deck's
awkward.
already
or
so
super
bricky.
overcosted.
Such a bricky deck. Why would you want to run more bricks in it?
But even besides that, those restands work the way that after you dry check a trigger, they restand. So what you do in Hexorb, you see the OT on top, you then stack a crit or a front on top of that, so they first see a trigger, restand, and now the OT hits, and now you can put them as restanders as well. So I would say Hexorb probably still want to use... The thing is, Hexorb can use both because you can manipulate the deck with the drive check OT as well.
Yeah.
Because the difference between her and most other Cater Sanctuary decks is that the OT comes out of nowhere. Hexorb can prepare
Literally
for
prepare it. Yeah.
I would say Hexorb is a maybe, the old one.
I think the old one's new OT, new one's maybe. Actually, new
No,
one is a no. New one's a no.
New one is a no by
Sorry,
default.
sorry. New one's a no by default. I think this one. I personally, like I said, I think the Keter OT sucks. Just play the better over trigger. Just play the better over trigger. I don't know.
Fair enough. It might again, people. Again, these are not my words, but this is also not my channel, so I don't have full saying power here.
Hey, I mean, I don't disagree with you on the maybe, but why would you ever want to have the unless you're running like a grade 3 heavy deck? Why would you ever want to run the other
but
one?
Hexorb Sources is not a heavy deck, a grade 3 heavy deck, but she is a bricky deck. So if you can have the extra draws, that can help.
Aw, Kitty's looking outside. What are you doing? You guys can't see her, but she'd be looking outside. There she goes.
I saw something moving behind the binders.
Yeah, she's right there. Anyway, I personally, I just think, unless you're running the grade 3 Zanfasado and all the other stuff that's super bricky, there's no reason to run the old.
She's coming. Oh,
Hey,
sorry.
she's back. What are you doing? You're back, yes. There you go. Enjoy your whatever it is you're doing. What? Oh, just
She's
gonna
claiming her throne.
Yeah, her new favorite spot, man. Changes every 3 weeks. Just anyway, I think there is very little reason to run the Keter OT, but also again, I just think the Keter OT just sucks overall. So.
Fair enough.
So Thegria.
Well, you just said it. The Keter OT sucks, so why put it?
So she restands stuff, I think, at the end of battle off of some of her effects. So
Yeah,
I actually think she's questionable.
But she restands a column, not the entire field.
No, I'm talking about when it happens. The timing.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, she restands a column, so you can still have the other column still standing.
True, you could. I'll read this. So this one restands herself.
And keep in mind, you have a restanding Vanguard, so
You do
that's
have
also
a
a thing.
restanding Vanguard. This one restands rear.
And deck out issues as well, because the deck tend to churn through its cards. So I think she's a user of the new OT. Because the thing is, if you don't use the Keter Sanctuary OT, then you need to make a choice. Do you play the other vanilla Overtrigger, the other Cray Elemental, or this new Cray Elemental? And I think in this build, the new Cray Elemental is better than the old Cray Elemental.
Fair enough. I'll vibe with that. So yeah, she could use the new OT. Minerva, I think, falls under the same category. I think she prefers the new OT. That deck already goes really insane. I think another attack is just like super death.
And your field tend to also disappear.
Yeah, that too. But you bring it back. Let me again just double check.
Oh yeah, true. Happens. It's on. No, it's at the end of battle.
I'm about to check just to be sure, because I think it depends on when the Soul Blast happens.
It's on top left. Yeah.
I already found it. Anyway, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked if your opponent's screen theory. It's at the end of battle. So all the Soul Blast effects of the this one doesn't work. Because the Soul Blast effects happen afterwards here. But I mean, she restands and you can check the OT there, but I think it's a little high roll. I think it's a maybe. I think maybe is the better, because when she restands, she loses the drive, but she still attacks again. So you actually have a chance to check OT there. And actually, this deck thins significantly during Ride Line. There is a little bit of deck thinning she does, but it's nothing insane. I'm more leaning towards a no. But yeah, I just put it.
I have the same thing. I'm more hinting towards a no than a maybe, because the amount of value you get out of the Keter Sanctuary,
it's not that much.
It's not that much, and also the extra draws could be backfiring, because if the game tends to go a bit too long, you're decking out.
I've never seen this deck out because it always kills me.
Have you played Eval with it? Against it?
Yeah, I've died because they literally hit OT and I lost the game.
What? Yeah, okay. If they hit the OT early on enough, then it might be.
No, it was just you know, I ride up to 3, I do my thing, pass it to them. They have like 3 cards in hand, and then they magically get a board, and then they swing, hit the overtriggers, swing again. Rear guards are back on the board. Oh my gosh, I hate facing Minerva. It's such an obnoxious deck. 10 out of 10 despise Minerva indeed.
Fair enough. I hear some frustrations.
It's so because I've lost every time I've lost this deck. They've always checked OT.
Do we have to pause this, and do we have to just sit down and have a talk so you can?
Yes, because they keep checking crits and overtrigger, man, and then everything swings for drive checks.
Okay, no. So, how did it make you feel?
I hate it here. Just drink my seltzer. Just play against
Curly, I'm not,
perfect.
I'm not asking you the question, Curly. I'm asking her.
Anyway, screw Minerva, obnoxious ass deck. MOB.
MLB. I think same.
Is this Majesty? Is this full name Majesty Lord Blaster?
Yeah, it's Majesty.
Okay, just making sure. There's the other one.
Yeah, that's Messianic that you're thinking of.
Once attacks, perform all the following, but I guess right now I don't remember what the new promo does, but I think right now it's a no.
No, you have a restander because you have other riggers to the side with the promo. You have a promo that gets more power the more unit, the more blasters.
Yeah,
attack.
Emmeline, I know.
Yeah.
That's not the issue I'm having. I think it's just awkward timing. It kind of just depends on your board state too. Like, what if the only thing you have in your front row is a blaster blade and a blaster dart? Because you have to put a blaster dart from rear, and then take a blaster blade and blaster dart from rear, put them in. I know you can have like different front row units. You could just call them the back row. But what if your only option is to call the darks and the blades into soul, and then that's your entire front row gone? It does happen. Like, it can happen.
I mean, it can happen, but then in the same scenario, what's the point of the new OT, the old OT? You have no riggers to get dry checks. At the very least, Orange, you're forgetting one important thing. If you have no targets, you draw and call.
Yeah, fair enough. To the new it goes. Fair enough. That's a good point, because you can actually call another blaster blade or blaster dark and then optimize those skills too. Fair enough. PBO, definitely the new overtrigger. No questions asked.
I think I have no say in the matter, because this is literally your go-to #1 deck essentially.
Well, the reason being is so the deck targets a Blaster Dark, has it perform drive checks. You can pretty much have that perform 4 drives with the new OT. Now because
wait. How does it have drive checks on the rearguards without the Cater Sanctuary overtrigger?
So there's a new promo that says when it would be retired, it counts as 2. And then the second effect says if your opponent's Great Theater Greater, choose a Blaster Dark and it can perform drive checks. But Blaster Dark himself also counterblast retire unit, he gains an extra drive.
Yeah,
so what happens... No, it's not at the end of battle? Is it at the end of battle? I gotta double check actually. I thought it was at the end of turn. Let me think. Oh, let me think. What's it called? I forgot what she's called. Wait, do I have the... No, I don't have the deck on me. It's in my car. I don't remember if it's at the end of battle or end of turn. It's been a second. It is end of turn.
At the end of battle, and the other person's end of turn.
I'm pretty sure it's end of turn.
This doesn't help.
I am almost positive it's at the end of turn, but I could be wrong. Okay, we'll find out. Here she is. End of turn. It's end of turn.
Oh,
so
dead. Jesus Christ.
What?
No, the fact that skill exists.
Yeah, it's a really... That's why this deck's so insane.
Yeah,
so you pretty much... The whole interaction is you swing with Vanguard, you retire her, call the Dark, pretty much put the effects on the Dark. So we'll use his skill first to get the extra drive. So he'll have 2 drive off of her. And then when the Vanguard swings, if you hit the overtrigger, you put the effects on him to restand, and then he'll be swing for 2 drive, restanding swing for 2 drive. So you have 6 drive total with Vanguard included. No, it's okay, Matt. So I think that's better.
It's literally
kind of the same thing, to be honest, because you can also just hit the Keter OT, then have the other side have drive checks too. But I think just having a restanding Blaster Dark for 4 drives total, I think is just funnier.
The thing is, this is literally the Cater Sanctuary overtrigger plus an extra attack.
Yes, exactly. And that's actually why I just think it's better in every way.
So there's literally no argument to be had here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was just explaining. A lot of people don't know how PBO works.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I've seen the funniest things with PBO. This deck is like so... Because you can like on turn 2... So I'm going on a whole rant. But on turn 2, you get Twin Drive, right? You ride into PBO, do your normal stuff. Then your opponent does their stuff. And then you Persona ride. And then you swing with the rears. You call out the Dark. You get the drive checks. PBO has the drive checks. You hit the over trigger. It just gets so nuts. Like the deck just like explodes in your face. Like you just get like... destroyed in a turn, essentially. It's so great. I love this deck so much. Oh yeah, you have to hit the OT on PBO. That's 100%. But that's honestly, it's the same thing. It's like you either get the drive checks or you put it on Blaster Dark. But yes, if you were to attack with Blaster Dark and you hit the OT there, it doesn't do anything. But what you can do is you can still call a card and then still get, you still call a card. You can choose nothing, right? And you could just call a card anyway.
I mean, you can still have like this unit to the left still standing, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can put it on him or whatever that card is. And it will usually be Emmeline. Emmeline will usually be on the other side. And Emmeline will already be like around 35 or so.
Worst case scenario, you have 4 drive checks but the same amount of extra attacks. Best case scenario, you have the same amount of attacks but 6 drive checks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gee, what are they smoking there? Oh,
I don't know. It's not best deck somehow, so it's fine. I think the deck's really strong, but you have to open super well. It's all there's no searching in the deck whatsoever, so it's all in what you draw into, and you can draw into really good cards, you can draw into really bad cards, so it's all dependent on that.
You have like pseudo filtering, right, with PBOs?
It's just Emmeline, and she's a one place from hand effect, so you only utilize her so many times.
Fair enough.
Like I said, you have to open. Like if you open well, the deck is like straight up like tier 1. If you open poorly, the deck instantly drops to like tier 3. It's ridiculous. But it's super fun to play. The high roll, oh, so good. Anyway, back to this. Sorry, I can go about this deck for a while. We have OTT guy. I don't know what he does. I like literally anything that's set 11 and on. I'm clueless on. Well, so
he's literally Hexorb Sorceress, but with normal units.
All right, explain to me if it needs a new OT then.
Good question.
Smart
I
ass.
think. Yeah. Oh wait, are you calling me smart? Jesus. I just explained to you what you asked me. What does it do?
Yeah,
I gave
and
an
then when
answer.
I give you the question, you get stumped.
Yeah, because honestly, besides the global thing, I have no clue on the details of the deck. Like I know it has standing rearguards the moment it attacks, so you can utilize the new OT. But I know from what I've seen from tier list and from the voices in Japan that the deck sucks donkey dick. So I don't know if the tier Sanctuary Overtrigger does anything for it, and maybe the new OT can help it to potentially do something.
I don't know. I'll just let you research.
Let me.
I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah,
It's a
of course, she's gonna force me to do the work. Okay, let me look this guy up, because I want to know for certain if this has any value to be had.
While he's doing that, we'll talk about Youthberg. So I actually think Youthberg utilizes the new OT very well. We'll kind of pop it in there.
Yeah, Youthberg is easy new OT because it didn't even use the Cannon Sanctuary OT to begin with. Anybody that was playing the deck with the Cannon Sanctuary build played Youthberg wrong. I stand by that fact. You played the Cray Elemental to begin with, and the new Cray Elemental is better than the old Cray Elemental. So that's an easy one.
I don't play Youthberg, but I pace it a lot. So I mean, I think being able to restand your rear guards is pretty good. So
I think I'm the only one that really likes Youthberg as a deck.
Yeah, probably. It's just so boring. You just swing. That's it. It's the whole deck. You swing.
Yeah, so basically, the Solaron deck. So that's what the guy's name is. He literally on attack checks top 2, calls 1 unit to the field, and the other one can on top of the bottom of the deck. So you always have a standing unit essentially.
Oh, then I guess there he goes. I'll take that. Archites. Archite's weird. Archite's weird. So Archite has really big numbers usually, so I actually think the new OT is better.
Yeah.
But Archite has no pressure.
Like the thing that I realized about Brandgate, like everybody knows Brandgate's OT is bonkers. Like the thing is nuts.
Yeah.
But what I did realize like lately is that the impact of the OT, if we compare it to like with the new overtriggers for just recent rearguards, is that doubling your power is neat, but doubling power that's low,
it doesn't do much.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But doubling power that's high also means nothing, because doubling a unit that's 40k.
It's all the crit. It's all about the crit.
Yeah, it's basically all about the crit. Or like if you hit a sweet range of like 20k power, like 25k power is doubling that matters, but anything outside that range doesn't really matter as much, and it's a crit. So if your rearguards have 1 crit, doubling that is neat, but it's different than having like 2 crits going to 4 crits and whatnot. So and in Archites, and in Archites case, to go from what you were saying, is like she already has beefy numbers, so it's basically, is the pressure of the extra crits mattered?
Yes.
Or is the extra rearguard attack it's gonna be impactful?
I think in this case, the Brandgate OT, the crit specifically does matter. I think if you check OT, it's usually game. I will say the 5th attack is actually really nice too, because the deck has like so little pressure and you're usually restanding pretty big numbers. Like you'll restand like Gorilla Boy or Godzilla. Gugatera, that's his name, Gugatera, and he'll be like relatively high. And it'll make the deck go to 5 attacks, essentially. And early on, if you hit it, it's insane. And the deck also deck thins a lot early on, so you have a pretty high chance to check it on your first grade 3 attack. But the OT, Brandgate OT, really makes the deck explode because the deck has literally nothing else. Like, if you check OT under it, the deck's insane. Like, specifically the Brandgate one. You'll usually win the game if you check OT.
I do have one question.
What's up?
What is Gorilla?
I meant Gugatera. I said Gorilla, but it's Gugatera. Skill says on place, counterblast, retire something for with the same. So if you have like orders, so if you have 1 order, you can retire grade 1 or less. If you have 2 orders, you can retire grade 2 or less. If you have 3 orders, you can retire grade 3 or less. And the second effect says, if you have 3 orders in your order zone, plus 5k.
Well, but okay, I thought that was Godzilla. Which one is Godzilla then?
I meant when I said Godzilla, I meant Gugatera because he is Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
He's a literal walking monster dragon thing.
Yeah. No, because I thought you were referring to 2 different card, so I got a
Whoa.
bit confused.
Just dropped some of my seltzer. Anyway, yeah, I personally think she's definitely more leaning towards the no. Just mainly because at least right now the deck has no win con. The OT is sadly the win con. It's the best way to put it. It's a great deck, really aggressive early pressure, but no pressure whatsoever. So I think that's that. And then we have Avagandia, I think is the name of this card.
Yeah.
I've actually have seen this deck perform quite a bit. The numbers do get really high. I think this might be a maybe. Nothing restands, and you're usually attacking with Vanguard first. So
Yeah, you swing twice with the Vanguard. So
yes,
that does give more edge to, I believe, the Brandgate OT, because having your Vanguard swing twice with multiple crits and whatnot.
yeah, true. Yeah, that's
a lot more impactful than
yeah,
your
that's
swinging.
that's fair. Yeah, that's true. I see what you mean. I didn't really think about it from that perspective. I thought about more
Wait,
about the fourth attack.
Oh,
sorry, my bad's going. I thought more about the fourth attack first, but no, you're right. Velstra attacks with rear guards first sometimes because of the Freiheit card, since it minuses your Vanguard, so you can attack with it first and then attack with Vanguard. But usually you have a stood rear guard on the other side as well, unless you do some really weird stuff. And then there's also the fact that on attack you call the product, right?
Yeah, so basically Velstra is a 4 to 5 attack deck depending on how many products you can set up. You attack with your rearguards first, and then you bounce them back so you can call the products essentially. The castle.
Yeah. But I mean, even on Vanguard swing, you can call product out. So,
but you'll always have a standing rearguard. That's at the very least.
Yeah.
So I would say in this case you would still want to go with the Brandgate OT because of the fact that your pressure is significant, because you also put them at lower power. You minus their base constantly, and then you start swinging with 4, 5, 6 attacks, and then having the Brandgate OT on top of that, putting suddenly crits on everything and negating any defensive triggers is literally a death sentence instead of having one extra swing that's beefy essentially. Because in Welstra's case, it's if you hit the Brandgate OT, you tell your opponent you need to have 3 PGs to not die, and with the other one, it's essentially you need 2 PGs if you're at 5.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. You usually need PGs regardless. Something I've noticed about the deck, it's very much, do you have 3 perfect guards to deal with my big blow or not? And if the answer is no, you'll die anyway. But that's just me. Because the numbers get so, the guard, it's kind of similar to Jejuled. The guard value between what you can guard just gets so stupidly ridiculous that there's just no point in guarding. So you either say no guard or you perfect guard. But that's just my personal take.
The thing with Wellstar is if you are able to guard early on, you can negate a lot of pressure off them. Because then late game on their very first grade 3 turns or their turn 4, you're at like 1 damage essentially. You can start taking those attacks. And if you have the new OT, you can keep taking those attacks if nothing.
Yeah,
but if you hit the Brandgate OT, it's a complete different story suddenly.
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, everything's 2 damage. Fair enough. Well, everything's 2 damage on the current rear guards that are present anyway. It's not for all the attacks. It's only the present ones.
Plus, also, we don't need to forget the prospect of hitting crit OT. That's also a factor. And it happens more than I like to admit. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Alright, next we have Hero Boy. B Hero. This is B Heroes. So B Heroes has like some, not front row, but they have some like numbers on both opponent's side and your side. And then it has like the back row guy that could swap an attack. Has a lot of deck thinning too. I don't know about this one. It's probably gonna be the Brandgate OT regardless, but I think you can go either or.
I think, like, I'm just not too familiar with the deck at all. Like, I know its tactics, like what it can do for multi-tech, but I'm not too familiar.
It swaps really rear guards, and so it swaps rear guards. It has a continuous 5k to all your rear guard B heroes, in the front row, I believe, and also the Vanguard has a crit on it already. As long as you have 3 orders, I'm pretty sure you have to have 3 orders for it. And also the deck thins early on pretty well because the grade 2 just straight up deck thins 3 cards. This deck tends to go to deck out a lot, so I think the extra attack could actually be a pretty big deal.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say that this might be a deck that, because
it's
also,
probably a maybe.
I think the power numbers on these units are quite lower than most Brandgate numbers, so you don't even get the value of the doubling of the power of them.
Yeah.
So it's pure the crit, but even then, like, I think most of their attacks are still under 40k, so they could still be easily guarded, so you negate the OT as well. I think the extra attack might give them the edge.
Yep. We could put it in the yes category. I think it's more of a yes. I honestly think it'll probably lean towards a maybe over time, but I think at the moment it's a yes. Okay, Ava. So Ava is a weird one in my opinion. Because it's kind of like, which Hyrule do you want more? Do you want to hit crit OT and just end your opponent's life if they don't have the PGs in hand with the Obscurades? Or do you want to have the extra attack, but the Obscurades still have crits on? So you're essentially still swinging for, you know, annoying numbers. Like you can reset an Obscurade. But one thing I will note is, in my opinion, Ava's numbers aren't like that obscene either. They're annoying to guard, but they're not obscene numbers. Because normally it's 23, 20. Normally the Obscurades are 23 or they're 15. So they actually get very small before all effects are put in. So before you Soul Blast with the order, before you do anything else, just base power with whatever their own skills are, it's 15 and 23. And then under Persona the numbers get higher, and then if you use the order it gets even higher. No, so it's kind of, to me it's actually a hard call. I actually don't know.
Isn't the 23 actually 13? Because I believe the grade 3 gets the power on attack, not passively, right?
I believe, yeah, it's on attack. So, not 100% actually. I should know this. I've been playing the deck a lot, but I actually don't remember. I usually have to read it every single time. Am I blind?
I think you need to search up for Obscurade, not Eva. Or are you searching? What are you specifically searching?
Oh, is he not? Eh. Is he not part of?
No, he's a Keter Sanctuary. He's half Keter, half.
That's right. He's half and half. That's so.
Yeah. So he's usually typically.
I'll find him this way. There he is. Anyway, when it attacks. That makes numbers even smaller. Because it's on attack, it's not continuous. So again, I actually think the Duo T might be better. It's a variance. It's a variance. Because like I said, if you just check OT crit, or crit OT, it's like, oh, well, for the rank A1, it's like, woohoo! But if you check the restanding option, you can restand your Obscurades for power, and they'll have crits on them. Or you can restand the front row removal. So say like they swing with the front row removal guy. Oh wait. Or say you call one out that has the front row removal guy, he can swing twice to remove front row. So they have to. If the front row really matters, you can definitely knock it out.
I think for Eva's case, it's basically a maybe. It's like it's essentially a different flavor of how you want to kill your opponent.
Yeah. It's like which flavor of killing do you wish to do today? You're gonna check the OT regardless, but which one do you prefer? I think it's a maybe. I think either one is fine. I think the restand's good. I think the crit pressure is good. But because you already have crit pressure, you really can interchangeable. It's very interchangeable in my eyes. But I don't know. It's a hard one. I think this one's difficult to know for sure. I feel like I personally would probably still play the old OT. But the new one's not so fun.
You can look at it from a different perspective. If you hit the old OT, even before the prospect, you force your opponent to waste 3 PGs. Vanguard, you PG the Vanguard because if they hit the OT, you die. And then you need to PG the other ones because one is 4 crit, 1 in a million, and the other is potentially 2, 3, 4 crit. Also a significant number, you have to PG that as well. With the new Overtrigger, you PG the Vanguard because, of course, OT can be a thing, and they might think you played a Brandgate OT, and then they have to double PG the restanding Obscurade that's 100 million, and they still have to then also guard for the other one still.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're wasting 3 PGs plus more. So
I think it just depends on numbers too, because like I said, numbers are pretty small. So, because it's only restanding for 33. Just keep in mind. Under Persona. Persona, it's 23. Well, you could put the 100 million, but long story short, one side would be swinging for 23 with just the crit on it, and the other side would be swinging 100 million plus 23 with the crit on it. So you're really you don't have to, you know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's the effective value of both OTs are very close to each other.
Yeah.
The only way where the Brandgate OT can be more impactful is if you hit the thing very early on and you shoot them from 1 to 5 instantly.
And you can do that, by the way. So that does happen. So yeah, it's a weird one. But anyway, we'll leave it at maybe. Gravidia.
Old one.
Really, but the new one lets you restand your front row pretty much.
Yeah, but why would you play Gravidia if you have the chance to 16 crit somebody? Like, you're not gonna play the deck unless you're gonna go for the insane high roll.
I'll
Like,
put it
come
in the
on,
maybe category.
come on. No. I would not
Throw it in the
respect. I will
maybe.
never respect a Gravidia player if they don't go for all the balls to the walls.
Don't go drop your entire table over there.
You play the OT, you play the Vanguard OT, use the new card that gets you more drive checks, because the only thing that matters as a Gravidia player is to do 5 meteors and hit crit OT or whatever it is that you can do to just kill them with 12 or 15, 16 damage or something. Are there any other variants of Gravidia? They do not matter. They don't exist.
I think
They're
it's
lies.
a maybe. I think it's a
They're
maybe.
lies.
I think it's a maybe. I think either one is fine. Because you double the effective power, so you have 2 rear guards for 100 million on each side that are both freestanding now. I know Matt mentioned the burrito comment. To be fair, that's if your opponent plays into the burrito. If they don't play into the burrito, they won't have the crit on them. Normally, a smart player won't let you have the crit. And because Overdress has this fancy thing of constantly retiring rear guards and drawing cards and kind of doing weird stuff where you can get rid of your board, I think that's another reason why the crit doesn't matter as much. But if your opponent's not playing into it and they're just like, oh, here I have 3 rear guards, board wipe me, then yeah, I think the new OT actually is stronger in that sense. But both are pretty annoying.
Also,
yeah, Jet's
Infamous,
one of the few that doesn't clear its board, but a lot of decks do.
Also, Infamous, yes, sure, you're die regardless of when you can hit, but it's way more impactful to kill somebody double. If you can kill them twice, that's more important.
I think that you're just you just want a 16 crit someone. I think that's what this boils down to.
Don't you?
No, I don't care. I just want them dead. I don't care how they die.
Fair.
That's just my personal perspective. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty crappy feeling being on the other end of the spectrum where you have to take 16 damage.
I mean, but you don't have to take 60. Just take 6 and just...
But
and
it's
then the
actually
game's over.
16. It's not the same. What if you heal? What if your last 3 cards are like heal, heal, heal? Guess what? You're still dead.
No. By the way, what the Infamous said is a lie. If I face against Greedon and they can take 7 damage and I shoot them 6 damage, they can still survive.
Anyway, I'm gonna put it in the maybe category. I think 5 attacker video is pretty disgusting. But that's just me. Messiah. I think either works. If I remember correctly.
Let me think about this one. This is actually an interesting one.
Big nope. Okay. Card5 says big nope.
You attack with your rear guards, they then unlock.
I don't remember the course of action of like when the end of turn / on attack stuff happens.
Wait, what?
I don't remember when the deck when the deck pretty much multi-attacks, if it's at the end of battle or
no,
on
it's
attack.
when the Vanguard attacks, you unlock all your stuff.
Oh, okay.
So you will have so you can pump your rear guards. So Messiah has relatively decent numbers on the rear guard, so even you can give the weaker one basically 100 million power, so you have still like massive numbers. That's an option you can have. But of course, you can double everything. Like the problem is, Messiah doesn't swing with crits except for Exilix, I believe. Like one of the strides gives a crit, but not both, if I remember correctly. And the rest of the rear guards are just beat sticks.
That's fair. So probably Brandgate OT.
Yeah, I would say Brandgate might hinge just a little bit over it.
Fair enough. Orfist. I'm really indifferent with Orfist. I actually think it's a maybe.
Wait, really?
Yes, because the columns are just so big, and you can just restand like a really huge token.
Yeah, so that's why I thought you might want to go for the new one more.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. I mean the new one. I'm referring to the new one. Sorry, my bad.
No, I
think it's an either or, actually. I think you can play the old one and be fine because it's kind of a similar argument as Archite. It's like, well, I have all these numbers, but I have no pressure. But you do get to restand a token, and in a deck that already multi-attacks a lot, so it's like an extender, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Also, Orphis falls in the other side of the category. The number's already that big, so doubling how much value do you get out of that, except for the crit pressure?
It doesn't
of course.
matter at that point. Yeah,
No.
it's a death or take. It's a death or PG usually. Yeah, if you double up, you'll usually be in the 100k realm. And at that point, your opponent either has to PG or take it. So that's why I think Orphis is pretty interchangeable. I think either works. I also think having the extra attack late game, the grade 3 order stacks it so they get really big. So you're swinging for like 50 and then you can swing for 50 again, essentially. But I don't know. It's a tough call. Because I see value in both. I also think drawing early is really nice as well. I think Orphis has a big bricking issue. So in case you hit it early, I think the extra draw is actually very important. But that's just me.
And is there potentially a unit you can cheat out that's like a grade 3 early on that gets useful?
Yeah, we don't have to call, right? I think just drawing 2 cards is massive. The deck has a big issue with breaking. Its biggest weakness is the fact that you can just open nothing. So I think the extra draw off of the OT is actually pretty valuable.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I think maybe it can be either way. Like,
I think it's an
it
either
has
or.
merits to it has merit to both.
It does fall under the Archite argument. Like theoretically, it should be in the no category. But I think because the deck just doesn't, the deck bricks more than Archite would. I think the draw is actually pretty massive. Because if you can find all your stuff, you'll explode on your opponent, and like it just doesn't matter which OT you hit at that point. But I think just early on, any draw matters.
Yeah, the difference is Archite does draw and filter.
Yeah, she
more
filters
in the early
insane.
game.
Yeah, she doesn't brick. That deck only bricks in terms of you not being able to kill your opponent. Like that's it. The deck itself usually will not brick. Sometimes if you don't open up your orders, but it's rare.
Yeah, fair enough.
Seraph Snow.
No, Pure Light. This is a little bit different.
Grade
Pure
4.
Light, I would say new one, because if I remember correctly, let me double check on the Pure Lights.
She has the front row power of off of your
crit.
and a
From
crit. The crit is like
that's far.
super late game though. Like your opponent has to have like really given up.
Okay,
a lot.
okay. Let me say it like this. You could say maybe both right now, but we know relatively soon it's going to be new one. 100%. It's
Why do you
going to
say
be
that?
nuts. Because I assume we're gonna get the Amelia promo for all 5 grade 4
Oh
decks.
right, so you can search it out.
And if she gets it, and don't forget, we have the new Regulus piece, which adds this grade 4 to our hand. So, yeah, the deck is gonna get nuts. And the new OT, like the deck works so well with the new OT because your riggers are already massive and have crit pressure. So restanding that, it's just gonna be nuts.
I think it's a maybe. The reason being is even like yeah, you can search all this out. The deck is so bricky. Like with like your hand size is so important. Like what's in your hand is usually pieces. And if your opponent rushes you down, you get stuck in bad positions. But even as you ride to grade 3, having the triple drive, usually hitting OT will just solidify the game. But it has to be the Brain Gate one. If you check the other one, I don't think it matters. So I think it's actually a hard call.
I mean, if it's bricky, then early game hitting the OT also helps you to draw into more cards.
That is true. That is true. The deck
And
has an issue where you don't want to guard because everything in your hand is potential stuff to make your... Because you don't replenish rear guards that well. The deck has like a big rear guard issue. You just don't have rear guards like almost ever. Like it sucks.
Yeah.
Hi. I think it's a weird one because that's why the deck struggles. Like if you have any removal or anything that just like forces them to use hand early, the deck just falls sideways. But if they could last to the grade 4 turn and kind of just live through a lot of stuff, it gets better, right? So it's just kind of like it's a weird one. This deck either does really well or really poorly. I think it's more interchangeable. I think either one can be very impactful.
I think that's fair. I think that's really fair, especially right now. Like in the current stage of the game.
I even
it's
think with the
more
Regalius
interchangeable.
piece, it's gonna be the same thing. You're adding a grade 3 card to your deck that is a 1-of that you have to find. Like you have to in a deck that doesn't draw, by the way. All it has is the triple drive. Like,
No,
like think
the
about it.
thing is, the regular piece, in my opinion, is just an extra copy of the Grade 4. So you run 5
Yeah, but you
copies
have
of the
to
Grade 4.
find it
Yeah, but because, you
in a
know,
deck
instead
that
of
doesn't
running...
draw.
Then listen to me. Instead of having 4 copies, you have 5. So the chance of actually drawing it is significantly higher. That's how statistics and probability work.
I think in a deck that already struggles with shield and everything else, adding another card that increases the brickage is fine, but I don't think it makes the deck better. I think it's gonna be exactly the same.
Yeah, but the thing about that, if drawing that specific card is good for the deck because you filter 2 0 shield cards out of your deck immediately because you also
Into
call
your
grade 3.
hand. Great.
No, the grade 3 goes on the field.
Oh yeah, true. You can get the guard restrict grade 3 out, I guess. I don't know. I'm super biased about Seraph Snow or whatever the fuck her name is. I just don't think that deck's that good. I don't think it's ever really been that good. Might be just a bias thing, but bias aside, I think either OT works.
For now, I agree with either OT. But once we get those new cards that we are supposed to get, it's gonna be nuts.
Fair enough.
Mark my words.
I really don't think so.
Rip 4 cards out of your hand, rip 4 cards out of your soul, destroy everything.
Wait, why would you be ripping 4?
Because you can write the grade 4, then use the promo and write another grade 4.
What promo?
The Emilia promo, those are the cards that say counter +1, put the soul, write the grade 4
But that wasn't
from
revealed to
hand.
Brandgate yet, right?
No, not yet, but I assume we're gonna get that.
I don't. What if we don't?
The only thing is that I'm scared about is that it specifically says the name of the grade 3.
Yeah.
Then you cannot use that. But if they are willing to make the deck
Why
actually
would
playable,
they do that?
they would make it that it says a great unit, a Vanguard with Seraph in his name or something
really
like that.
doubt they're gonna do that. I really doubt they're gonna do that. But we'll see. That sounds like something that they shouldn't do, but that's just me. But anyway, Flagberg. I think Flagberg is mainly a no in my eyes. Mainly a no. There's a rare shot, but I think for the most part it's a no.
Yeah, I think it's. I agree with that because its attack pattern is just awkward enough that it doesn't really work.
There are situations, you know, whether you're bricking or whatever your board state is, where you do attack with the Vanguard first, sometimes on third battle, sometimes before that. It does happen, but for the most part, 9 out of 10 times, you'll usually be going rearguard, restand, swing, Vanguard swing, back row swing. Usually.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen enough, I feel, for it to justify. Also, in my opinion, this is kind of the Brandgate OT discussion over again, but the Stokke OT is pretty nuts. And Flagberg likes to draw cards, and the Stokke OT draws in the same way that the new OT draws. So the draw argument doesn't really work as well here because you're drawing either way. You're drawing the same amount of cards from both situations. And I do think sometimes if you have to raw swing with the Flagberg and you check OT, it just made your restands just way more impactful too. If you have to do like weird attacking patterns, because the grade 2 will still restand. It's inlet though, you'll usually lose that extra attack off of in case you have to attack a certain way. But even then you can swing with inlet, restand, swing with inlet, swing with Vanguard. You still have the 2 on the board that still hasn't swung yet. And then you can go that approach as well. So it kind of just depends on how you're, and which, it depends on the build you're running, which grade 2 you're more focused on. But I think either way, I think Stokke OT is the better one.
In this case, 100%. Like, it just doesn't work well with.
It's okay with the other one. It's just not great. And I just think that 10k crit and also because of the guard restrict, your opponent usually says no guard or PGs or blitz orders or does whatever. Because they're put in awkward position anyway. If you check OT under it, it's usually death. So especially if it's the Stokke one because of the crit, the 10k, the extra draw, the healing, so on and so forth. So.
Yeah, although the extra front row 10k in Flagberg doesn't really matter.
It doesn't, yeah. I guess that sometimes if you raw swing, oh, I checked OT, my front row has power, yay. But yeah, usually it doesn't matter. At least the 10k part. But I think it's definitely more of a nope. And then we have Wolf Boy. So Wolf Boy, if you do or don't know, pretty much just restands a rear guard on attack.
No, at the end.
Is it at the end? Is it at the end? Okay.
I have the card right in front of me.
I believe you. I just built it. I haven't tried it yet.
No, wait.
Okay.
You can have a standing column on the other side.
That's true. I still like the new OT. I think the new OT is still better.
Like,
oh, sorry. I keep doing that. I meant Stokke. I still think Stokke is better.
In this case,
Maybe it's built different. Like if you build the prison dragons, then restanding 2 prison dragons is better than restanding 1. But otherwise, I think for the most part, it's the KOT.
I don't think you play prison dragon in this deck.
Some people do. I think it just
Wait,
this
really?
build's pretty. Yeah, you can. You definitely can. I don't know if it's good or not, but you can.
Huh.
You learn something new every day, Eric.
But
You're an
doesn't
old
the
man.
prison
You would
dragon
know.
specifically only work with Alchemagic?
No, the roaming prison dragons.
Yeah.
Boy.
The Zorga Great Freeze.
Boy, where have you been?
Well, not with Zorga. That's one for
Okay,
for
the
sure.
dragons come out if you play an order. Period.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
just
yeah,
choose
yeah,
the
yeah.
effect if you don't Alchemagic. So you can put the critter, you can put the 10k. You just can't
And
do
that's
both.
only. But that's only when you Alchemagic you get the crit.
No, well, you play an order and you pick one or the other.
Oh.
Yes. If you Alchemagic, you can just get both effects. But that's why people have been running dragons in their lists. Like, I literally top with Flagberg with prison dragons in it. What do you mean?
Wait. They got both? If you Alchemagic?
If you Alchemagic, you get both effects.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you play an order, you
Well,
get one.
Well, you learn new everything every day, apparently.
Literally,
Huh.
people have been running this shit in Mouse Storm, in Flagberg, in pretty much any deck you could pretty much run these because they're just free. They're free cards to the board. You could even run an Aroa, and you can call them out, and then you can sack them
I mean,
for the token card.
sure, I guess. I wouldn't say
What
I
do you
would play
mean?
them.
Sure, I guess it's good.
I wouldn't say I would play them in Maelstrom because Maelstrom hardly.
Dude, there was a deck that just topped with it. I hate it here. Hi.
It's Team League. Team League doesn't mean anything.
You don't mean anything.
Well, okay. Well, you heard it here, folks. I'll see you guys tomorrow when we're going to talk about the other OT. Apparently, I don't.
Anyway, long story short, it's a gimmick, but it works pretty well. And a lot of decks do utilize the dragons. Have you seen the prices of them? They're like $30 now. They used to be like They used to be like a buck.
Excuse me.
I'm not
What?
joking. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but they're definitely 20, yeah. Or they were 20 last time I checked. They're 15 right now, but they have been going.
Wait, they're called roaming prison dragons?
Yeah, they were 18 like literally like a couple days ago.
Oh my lord, what's going on?
And also the SPs are completely bought out. And people have been buying them for $50 to $60.
Matt,
Look at
you need
this.
to talk. You need to talk with the people in your country, man. There are people selling this stuff for crazy numbers.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the dragon's good, man. The dragon is good.
People.
You are just so
recognize
out of the loop. This is the you problem.
No, it's Stoichea. I'm not really invested in Stoichea decks.
I'm just messing with you. But yeah. Yeah, Roman Prison Dragons equals good.
Okay, fair enough.
They're
fair
just
enough.
generic,
And
that's the reason.
What's the Stoichea with their obsession with Great Free Dragons?
I don't know. They're just
We
good
first-
cards.
We had Inland, and now we have this undead thing.
Says the guy who plays Dragon Empire, which is all dragons.
I play Nirvana, which is the least dragon deck of
The
Dragon Empire.
Vanguard's a dragon! The Great Four is a dragon!
No! You know what Nirvana is? Nirvana is a Phoenix dragon. It's
That's
a Phoenix.
still a dragon!
No, it's a Phoenix. That's different.
It's a Phoenix dragon. In a nation called Dragon Empire.
So you're telling me Eugene is a dragon?
I never said that. I'm just saying the nation, it prioritizes... Wait for it. Wait for it. Dragons!
Okay.
The nation is called Dragon Empire. It's the Empire of Dragons with some humans in it.
Okay. And snakes, apparently, because look at that. What's that card underneath?
Yeah, because they
Almost the
have
mother- that's a
they have
snake.
yokai in Dragon Empire. Crazy.
Exactly.
They also have mainly dragons. Your biggest staple is Dragonic Overlord, the dragon.
That's not my biggest staple. I disown
It's
that.
the staple
that
of
thing.
the nation.
No. He's the staple of the clan, not the nation. He does not represent them.
Nation. It is literally it's literally the icon.
There are
of
only
the-
two.
the-
There are three things that represent Dragon Empire: Nirvana, Balsarga, and Tamayura.
No,
The rest
where are
doesn't
you
matter.
on? I hate it here. I hate it here. The Dragon Empire, the existence of it is because of Dragonic Overlord. because that is the first ever deck that came out for Vanguard from Dragon Empire. And you can't argue. That's like saying Blaster Blade is not an icon for Royal Paladin in a knight deck in a knight nation full of knights, which is majority crazy knights, just like Dragon Empire is majority dragons.
Fair enough. Wait, what? How about me and you do a blue OT? We can cut orange out and hair dragon. Oh, wait, what do you mean blue OT?
The blue OT that comes out soon.
Oh, the other OT. Also, yeah, okay, now Fuzzy is asking for the point.
My point is that it's mainly dragons. Oh,
wait,
yeah. Oh, dang, that's right. PBO promo doesn't work. That's unfortunate.
Wait, what's going
yeah,
on?
so you have to read it carefully. It says when this unit attacks this card, it can perform drive checks at the end of that battle. At the end of that battle, retire it. So you can't actually do it, though. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, we learned something new today. You can still run the new OT, though. It still works. But yeah, you can't have.
I mean, it doesn't change the fact that the Brandgate OT sucks ass.
It doesn't change that.
Also, the Brandgate OT becomes worse because of the
Keter.
effect, because you already get the drive checks.
Yeah, exactly. You mean Keter, but it can still stack out on the other side. It's not a big deal. Yeah, no, you were right. You were right. I never said you were wrong. It was just misreading. It's okay. It does say at the end of battle, quotation until end of turn. So to be fair,
the
it's
problem
really
is
easy to misread that.
That end of turn means he gets the skill until the end of turn.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, Leonorn.
Wait, no. Wait, no, never mind.
No, it doesn't work that way. What Slasher Matt said is right.
No, I thought like maybe just don't use it on the first attack, but I think that you cannot choose to not use the skill.
Yeah, you can't. It doesn't work. It don't work like that. Mr. Dragonic Overlord, hater of Dragon Empire dragons.
What do you mean? I don't play Cater Sanctuary to begin with. Where does this come from? I play Dark States, Chrono Jet.
You are a Dragonic Empire simp, and you know it.
I mean, I'm glad you're not even bringing up the fact that Chrono Jet literally has dragon.
Your name is Mr. Dragonic Overlord, not Mr. Time
No,
Lord.
no. Hold on. You are the one that's Dragonic Overlord here. You are the one that has a Dragonic Overlord.
That's a meme. Those are two different things. That's a meme.
No, that's a fact.
A meme.
No,
it's a meme.
Guys, Chrono Jet is not a car. Chrono Jet is a refrigerator.
Chrono Jet is a car.
No, Chrono Jet is a refrigerator. Get your facts straight. Look at what he has on his back. Those are two refrigerators.
Oh yeah, Chrono Jet's a dragon. That's crazy.
That's literally what I said.
I know. Again, because you like dragons. Dragonic Empire. Crazy.
I like Chrono Jet.
Chrono Jet's a dragon. So you like dragons.
So about the next card, Leonorn.
I don't know. I'll leave it to y'all. I'm clueless.
Let's just say you can put them both in question mark because the deck just is bad, and I don't think the new OT can do anything for the deck.
Dang, you're just saying that because Matt's in chat.
No, the deck is really it's bad. It's just not good. Regardless of who plays it.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, for the first time in 3 years, I have to agree with you.
What do you mean in 3 years? What do you mean with that?
I think it sucks too. Yeah, you know, you've just always been wrong, but this is a very correct statement.
Jesus Christ, man. I've just been called on just to be disrespected on this shit. Like, oh my god.
You agreed. You didn't have to come.
No, I did not agree to you disagreeing with me for 3 years. I agreed to the fact that these two decks suck ass. That's all I agreed on.
Fair enough. I agree with you. Maelstrom. Maelstrom has like weird attack patterns, but usually will have a stood rear guard at some point.
I think Maelstrom is more chance.
Oh yeah, I gotta call him Daddy. That's Daddy on the screen.
Wait, what?
Oh, you really have been out of the loop, man. That's Dadberg. You don't know about Dadberg?
Oh yeah, okay, no, I get that. I get
Daddy.
that because literally, It's not that bird.
It's
It's Derpy
Flagberg's dad.
Maelstrom. No, it's Maelstrom and Derpy Maelstrom. That's the original
No,
name.
that's Flagberg's dad. His name is Daddy. Respect Dadberg.
No. Look at you know why he's called Derpy Maelstrom, right?
Why he's called what?
Why Flagberg is called Derpy Maelstrom?
Why?
As in look at his face. He has that one horn on his head.
What are you talking about?
It looks derpy.
You know what?
On
You
how
look derpy. Are you making fun
No,
of
no,
Flagberg? Are you making fun of my
look at
son?
Flagberg's head. Just look at Flagberg's head. It looks derpy that he has that one horn. Like, oh.
No, he looks perfectly fine. That is my son you're speaking about. My son is perfect.
Like it's not even at the middle of his head. It's like skewered to the right. Like it's like as if somebody hit it hard. So it's
No, he
right
looks
side of his head.
beautiful. I will not take the slander. He's beautiful, and that's his dad right there. Yeah, I know you're giving me the answers. I'm choosing to neglect it. Leonor
Wait,
is
what?
going in a question mark area.
But no, Leonor's question mark meta. It's question mark not for the same as Gifogila. No, it's the same for Gifogila. As in, why would you play these decks? Just why? Just why? Question marks. Like what?
We're such assholes. But anyway, Dadberg.
Is that a new clip? Is that a new voice note that you just made there? I don't know where
What?
this is going.
What
Like,
do you
why
mean?
did you repeat? Why did you repeat the word "daddy" constantly there?
Because that's Daddy.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't judge.
So he kind of has a similar thing to Flagberg, but usually has more stood rearguard stuff going on. So I think either or is fine.
Yeah, I think this has more chance of having value of the new OT than Flagberg because of the fact that it can attack faster, so you have more access to potential restands. That's it. I don't think there's any additional bonus of either over trigger for the deck, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I think either way. Honestly, both decks don't really care about the OT. They just kind of do their thing. Magnolia. Now, Magnolia, everybody is super towards the effect of the new OT is better. I think both are good, but that's just me.
Why? No, my question is then, why is the new OT better?
Because you can put it on because the deck already attacks a lot, you can put it on a guard restrict guy, or there's multiple guard restricts, you can put on whatever guard restrict, and you have that guard restrict restand for guard restrict twice, essentially.
What is I've seen that name being thrown around. What is Gabre?
Gabberg is a card. It's Flanger. It's Flanger from Grand Blue. It says Soul Blast, and for everything that's on your opponent's board, like the grade on the opponent board, they can't guard with it. So if they have 0s, 1s, and 2s, they can't guard with any of those. For that battle specifically. So if you put the new OT on it, then you have that battle twice happen, essentially. So you can put the new OT on it, you can put the restand on it, and put something else, and you can also activate Teddy's effect to then copy the effects and kind of just do some crazy stuff. Like, I get it, but I actually think both are fine. But that's just me. Because I think the 10k to the front row is still really nice, because you can then copy the 10k to the front row and then still put on that. But I do think the restand guard restrict is really powerful. I actually run my Magnolia deck with the guard restricts personally, so I can definitely see the new OT being better than the old one in this case. I think the guard restricts go crazy, and I think people really underestimate them.
Because you're already attacking 6 times.
But you can attack 7 times with 2 of the attacks having a really lethal guard restrict on it.
But doesn't the guard restrict say for every attack? Because
No. The guard
it's so weird on the fig.
So the guard restricts it activates based off your opponent's board state. And then it's only for that attack. If it was for all attacks, that'd be insane. Magnolia would be like tier 0 if it was for all attacks. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because the skill set, when you're on a unit in the same column as the unit attacks, you can
Yes.
soul plus 1,
Mhm.
and this unit gets power plus 10 until the end of turn.
Yep.
Choose all of your opponent's rear guards, and for the battle this unit attack this turn, your opponent cannot call cards with the
For
same...
the battle, this unit
that-
attack this turn.
Yeah, okay.
So
But you need to pay-
basically, you put the power on him and you restand him, and then the guard restricts active both times. So say your opponent doesn't play into that card, like they leave a board out. If they don't have a board, it doesn't matter, but if they do have a board, that card's very impactful. That's why you run the other guard restrict, which is the Bucktooth guy, who says on attack you have to guard with 2 cards. So in case they're playing without a board, you can then put the guard restrict 100 mil restand power on that card, and that way your opponent has to guard with 4 cards, especially if you put like a crit on it or something and there are 4, they potentially have to rip a ton of cards out of hand just to guard through that.
Yeah, I think because of all the guard restricts being a thing, I think Magnolia can have more value of the new one.
Yep.
I'm
I'm a
more tempted
little
for that one.
50-50 on it. Like, not 50, it's more like 70-30. I do think in some scenarios the Stoicheio goes crazy as well. But for the most part, I definitely think it's the new OT.
Like, the new OT is once you have your board established, and the old OT is whenever.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also early on, I think the old OT works better, whereas the new OT works insanely well under grade 4 specifically. So that's just personal opinion. I think early on doesn't matter as much. You can have the guard restrict, but that's if you like have a hand for it and you have a board. Because normally early on, like prior to grade 4, you don't really have a board. Your board starts really becoming a thing on grade 4. So,
Yeah,
grade 3 Magnolia, I think prefers the Stoicheio OT maybe, because you won't have that back row synergy happen as often.
I would say Stoicheio OT by the sheer fact that, unlike Elder, you need to Persona Ride every turn.
Yeah.
So if you don't, you're basically wasting the OT if you hit it during a non-Persona Ride turn. So I would say Stoicheio is probably more consistent value.
Fair enough, fair enough. Roroa. You can restand Relinda. I don't think you really need that extra attack. I think the Stoicheio OT is better here because you can also like swing with it and then copy all the effects. Oh, sorry, get all the 10k, but I don't know. You restand Momoke. I mean, it depends on your attack pattern though, because you have to retire the token, like to do stuff.
No, you will do it on a token because the Relinda will gain the power of the token, so you get 3 times the value of the 100 million. Because you put the power of the token swings twice for 100 million plus, then Relinda retires.
But you have to swing with Van first then.
But you always swing with Van first.
Not always.
Because you can put all the trigger power on the token. So you double up, you triple up or double up on all your trigger power.
You do always swing with, you already get, I literally, okay, fair enough. Up it goes.
From what I know about Rolla, Rolla is one of the rare Stoicheia decks that I know somewhat about. Is that Vanguard swings first, so you can double.
You can put the triggers on the token and then utilize. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I actually forgot about that. It's been a second. Fair enough. I agree. Zorga.
This is all on you.
I'm thinking. Zorga's a 3-attack deck. Pressure is usually pretty high. I think the new OT is better in almost every situation, and I think the same is for the red one too. The reason being, it's a 3-attack deck with pretty high numbers. The 10k crit, heal, double draw is really good, but also restanding dragons is also really good. I think for both situations, and also because of the front row power that both Zorgas get, you will usually have a pretty fat 3 beefy attacks, and I think resetting a dragon for 38 and 2 damage twice is pretty good. So I think this is like a straight up sweep. Like I think this directly replaces the Stoicheio OT. It's not even like a if maybe situation. It's like mandatory.
I do have a question though.
What's up?
Before Mask came out, you had the 2 variants of red and blue.
Yeah.
But now with Mask being so good as it is, are there still 2 different Zorga builds, or is it basically just Zorga Mask is the
No, you can still have 2 Zorga builds. You could also just build red Zorga on its own and make red Zorga be a deck. You could also build blue Zorga on its own. You can also build Mask. Technically, there's 3 decks.
Huh.
I don't meta-wise, Mask is probably the best one right now, but I think that at the end of the day, they're still kind of differentiated as their own 3 decks. It's just how Zorga is. As for I haven't actually tested Mask, so I don't know. I'm gonna assume it say you want the new OT, but I'm actually not 100%. It was really good stuff. Is still as a defensive combo deck. Yeah, I honestly think all 3 can be their own deck. Mask you can push towards one or the other, but I think you can easily build out 3 different Zorga decks, and they'll all do 3 functionally different things. And
I think just in general for all Zorgas, it's gonna be the new one because of the fact of roaming prison dragon being a thing.
Yeah,
and you build so big numbers anyways that you can put the crit, even the non-restanding unit can be massive numbers. So you pressure on 4 or 5 attacks the entire turn.
Yep. But yeah, I don't think there's too much argument here. This is kind of like a kind of an obvious one, to be honest.
Yep.
Steel is a bunch of crit pressure with big numbers. Well, the back row doesn't really do much because you can attack with your back row. But the depending on how you build it, this kind of like I think this deck is a how do I build this deck situation. But normally you'll have a bunch of crits, and you. Huh?
I assume this is new LSD.
This is old Steel.
Oh,
actually,
new variant. Are the new variants in here?
No, they're not. This is all old ones. The cards aren't out yet. There's no testing. We don't have any information, to be honest. I think we don't like as of today. We don't have all the lyrical cards, so I actually think we could go off of old ones.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and leave Leah unranked. She is ranked. She's ranked in the question mark tier.
Wait, who's Leah?
Leonor.
No, again, who's Leah?
Oh, oh, right, we're clueless. Alice Steel, I don't know. New variant, old variant, they kind of both do similar things. Honestly, for all these decks, they all do similar things.
I do think if we're going to go with like old LSU, I do think it matters if it's Black Wings or White Wings, because Black Wings probably has not a lot of value of the new one, but White Wings all gets a crit pressure, and then having a restand on top of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in the maybe slot. There's too many different ways to build LS Steel, just in general. No matter what build you go for, I think there's just too many different variants. Clarissa? Yeah. Clarissa, I think, wants the new OT.
Yeah, I believe so as well. Like,
I don't know. So at the end of the battle, she hits.
Passive power, is that important enough to have the extra 10k, 20k to the columns? Will it matter?
Yeah, I think it's new OT, or maybe it's a me. I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
I think Clarissa can be a maybe, but it's like the thing about the lyrical monasterio OT is that the passive 10k power to the field does equate to quite a lot of value over time, especially if you have a full board. Like if you only have front row units, then it's kind of whatever. But the thing is, Clarissa needs a full board regardless. The 10k power to the whole column, potentially Persona right on top of that, does make sizable pressure every single turn.
Yeah. I think it's a maybe.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think Felty...
I think Felty is old.
Felty's old, yeah. Because
it's super awkward if that thing hits with how she attacks. Because I believe she's one of the rare decks...
Well, it depends on when you check it. If you check a normal unit first, you can call it out. And then if the next card... And then you get the extended drive. And then if the next card is the new over trigger, then you can put on that new rear guard.
Also, the thing is, I think Felty Rose is one of the only few rare instances where you can be screwed over by the new OT because of the fact that if you hit it first, there are, I believe, combos where you have a standing booster, and the cards specifically say you need to choose a unit, so you're maybe forced to put it on the booster, and then you basically wasted the whole OT. Because you cannot even choose to then draw and call something.
Felty rearguards all return to deck at end of battle.
Now, not all of them, right? Some of them can stay on the field. Because you have like effects Great Freeze that say when plays restand the booster in the same column. And those type of effects.
I don't know. Most of them are mandatory, yeah, that is correct. They are mostly mandatory. You can't really go around them. You usually have to do it.
Yeah, from what I remember, like most of the Great Freeze and Great 2s are mandatory. Go either to the bottom or to the top of the deck, or maybe maybe some bounce back, but I think that's
no. There's no bouncing. Cards. I always put current support. There's no bouncing.
But I believe the Great Ones do. Some Great Ones do tend to stay on the board.
I don't know. I'm gonna throw it in the maybe category. Cause I just don't know. I think either OT can show its stuff. Bunny Girl, I think is super awkward.
So
I can't remember.
How does she specifically work? Has her it?
I have to read her again. It's been a second. She's one of the few decks that I spent the least amount of time on. She's at the end of the battle, you attack to Vanguard draw. Okay, so because you have to utilize the red text, it is mandatory bottom decking. I think this is a big nope.
Oh yeah, she's the different choo-choo build. That was it, right?
Yeah. She's just
yeah. She ain't being able to use the new card. There's no way.
Herminia, I think is a yes.
She's powerful, right?
Zen, Zen can tell me wrong, but I think because in my opinion, you can restand the drive check girl, right? Right, Zen, you can restand the drive check girl.
She has a drive checking rearguard?
Yes. Yeah, it's from the newer stuff, but yes.
Yeah, if she has a dry checking rearguard, then I would say.
Wait, why can't you reset? Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does have a read. What do you mean?
Her reset is end of battle. Oh.
Well, why does that matter?
Well, you cannot choose it then if it's at the end of battle.
Well, why can't I gotta read the card? One sec, I'm trying to think.
No, she's not talking about a recent. She's talking about a dry checking unit. Unless she is the same.
I'm talking about the drive checking unit specifically, but one sec, I gotta reread the card just to be sure.
You have no CB? Well, it depends.
Soul Blast 1, choose one of your vanguards, it gets 5k. Powerful, when this unit attacks a vanguard, if your soul has no cards, Counterblast 2, this unit gets 10k. Oh, well, that's a CB2 for it. That's
yeah, CB2 is kind of heavy.
Okay,
yeah.
To be fair, I didn't know it was 2 Counterblasts. And then this unit gets 10k, and if you're great through or greater, this unit can perform drive checks. So, never mind. 2 CB is too heavy. I didn't know it was that heavy. I didn't know it was that heavy.
Yeah, CB2 is a bit too much, yeah.
Okay, never mind. Arminia is back to maybe. Because Zen said maybe, and I trust him saying maybe. Kyrie. Old Kyrie, I think, is a no.
Because when does she call the units back? Is that after the attack or before?
It's end of battle.
Yeah, that's probably a no.
You Soul Blast 2 bounce. Oh wait, is it end of battle? Am I going crazy? Is it end of battle? I know grade 4 is on attack. I know for sure grade 4
is
on
end of battle because I remember Kyrie, the grade 3 and grade 4 working differently. That's what I remember.
Yeah, it's at the end of battle attack. If your persona row, choose 2 cards column. Yeah, through different rows. So, yeah, sorry, Beatrice jump scare. So I think the original Kyrie is definitely a nope. I do think the new Kyrie can be up to you because I will say, for Kyrie specifically, the 10k pressure off of the lyrical OT does matter. I think the numbers get so awkward sometimes.
Yeah, she has those wacky base number units, right? Those like 7ks.
No,
5Ks.
that's the bunny girl that we were just talking about. No, the issue with her is that when you call a board out, it's only that turn that you're getting all the 5ks. I know you can bounce with like Yuika, but the issue is that next turn you have to recall out cards again if you can to get the power back. If you don't, or you just don't have a choice to, or you're kind of stuck with a board that's dead, what happens is everything's attacking for vanilla numbers, and then you're recalling cards out that attack for bigger numbers. So it's situational, depends on how you open. But I think the lyrical OT makes a difference with just having the pressure, because sometimes it's just like, oh, 13, swing, 18. Sometimes it's 28, sometimes it's 33, depending on what you're calling. But once you call a board, trying to replenish the board correctly can be really difficult sometimes.
That's fair enough. Although I see somebody complaining again.
Yeah. I agree with the Azumi thing, but I also think that, I don't know. I think for the most part, you want to run the old lyrical OT.
Yeah, but the thing is, just saying that a over trigger is useful because of one other card in your deck is a bit of an iffy statement. Because
her skill says you call her out, so you can replenish a board pretty well with her. She on attack with your Vanguard. She calls herself out, and because of that, she can be utilized through the new OT essentially.
No. What I'm saying is that this is talking about all the grade 3 Kyrie, which by default doesn't work with the new OT. But if you have this card, you can play with the new OT. But that means you need to have this card in rotation if you hit that OT. Otherwise, in every other situation, you're screwing yourself. Which isn't ideal.
I have to agree. I think for the most part, it's not worth it. There's like a small slither of it being kind of useful, but I have to agree with Eric because that's the only card that extends attacks currently. Aside from Persona Riding. If you Persona Ride, which you have to find, but if you Persona Ride, it's okay. But even then, it's still end of battle. Whereas the Azumi comes out mid-battle. But still, it's awkward. It won't always happen. At games where I don't see a single copy of that fucking card.
The frustrations are coming out now. Oh, no.
Damage 2, nothing in hand. Ugh. It's a maybe. I'm leaning more towards a no. Personally, I think the power of the lyrical OT is better than the potential extra attack that you can get, and I think that's more of the argument here than being like, oh well, there's this one chance I can get the restand off. It's like, yes, but why would you choose that over the 10k till end of turn and making literally every number and everything that the deck does better? So that's my personal. I know earlier we were talking about, well, you can just barely get the restanding, the stood ability off to begin with. But to be honest, the bigger argument is, why would you replace this with the lyrical OT?
Yeah,
I personally think both Kairis work better off the lyrical OT, though the grade 4 Kairi does utilize the new OT better, because you will be calling cards that are stood regardless of what is in your hand. But I think the grade 4 Kairi is more in the maybe slot, and I think the grade 3 Kairi is more in the no slot. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because the grade 4 will utilize, you don't need other cards to get
like
the stood
the difference. The difference is the grade 4 doesn't need to draw into the grade 2 to utilize the OT, whereas the grade 3 needs to see that grade 2 in order to make value of it.
I will say though, the 10k does really matter. The 10k per rear guard is pretty important though, so it is a hard call.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on. It's kind of like the Dark States thing over again. The earlier I hit it, the better one is over the other. It would be the same exact as any other lyrical 4 attack deck then, by your words then, as it's all the exact same value. I mean,
it depends.
Well, the grade 3 Kairi, no, because that deck can barely get the effects to go off, so you might as well run the lyrical OT. The grade 4 deck, that's why the grade 4 deck goes into the maybe slot, because in the grade 4 sense, you have the ability to do either or. And as for other lyrical decks, all the other lyrical decks, with the exception of Felty, do have stood rear guards.
And some of the other decks don't rely on the extra 10k power to have value of their rear guards, because they get pressure in other ways.
I will say, in terms of numbers, the other decks really struggle too. Except from like new Felty stuff and like maybe Clarissa. Sometimes that would steal.
From what I remember, Cannonball Girl has good numbers on her own.
The extra draw is a hit or miss, because lyrical goes through the deck a lot faster than like when the discussion with Dark States was really big, because Dark States outside of like Lukier has a hand issue for the most part, and Jet I would say, but like soul charging decks like Chaos and Barrow Magnus have huge hand issues, along with decks like Orphis too, where there's huge hand issues. That's why I think the hand that matters more. But actually, I think in Lyrical's case, because they do have Uica, and they do have ways to bounce cards, and do have ways to recall cards back out pretty easily, and Melty on top of that, I think they don't need the draw as crazily. You can also have to value Kairi grade 3 hitting the restand in the early turns. I mean, you hit the restand in the early turn, you have that one turn where you do it, and next turn you're persona writing. You would much rather have the lyrical OT active then, because you're attacking 5 times with lyrical OT active, and you already have the other OT that's out, and you're not killing your opponent with that one restand that you got off of the new OT. Like, why value that one restand when you can value 5 attack persona turn under lyrical OT? But that's another thing to keep in mind. That's just me personally. I just think that the value that the new OT brings for specifically old Kairi isn't as good as the other decks.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just because of the fact how the deck
as the restand on turn 2 is nuts. I mean, it's okay. I don't know. I think it's just okay. I think Kairi has especially the grade 3 Kairi, I think she has a big number issue. The deck can barely hit numbers.
I think the restand on turn 2 is actually kind of underwhelming, because it's like, okay, you dealt me 2 damage. Okay. That's it. Like, I have so many situations where I was at 3 damage when they had their turn 2 turns, and that OT doesn't change that. Because that's like, oh, you hit a crit, I said no guard, you have a rear guard that still swings, okay, I have to guard that because I have no shield in hand. Oh, I'm at 3 damage. Or they hit this OT, and they have a rear guard that swings twice for 100 million, okay, I take 1 damage.
Also, Kairi doesn't generate numbers as easily as other decks do. Grade 4 Kairi does, because of her effects. And grade 3 Persona, under Persona you do, but prior to that, the numbers are very vanilla. But that's just another thing. Anyway, we can go on this argument for days. I'm on the nope end.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think lyrical OT is just a better for her. But maybe in the future, who knows? Kyoka. Let me again, because I do this every time. Let me read Kyoka's restanding effects.
Is she just a free attack deck?
No. This deck is like Bruce on crack.
Wait, what? How?
The minute it rides, you have 5 attacks. It is at the end of battle, your Vanguard attack,
completely
though.
forgot. Oh, it's because of the rear. Yeah, okay, there is specific rear guards.
So the restands only happen when your Vanguard already attacked, though. So your Vanguard has to swing first. So I actually think, for just that alone, I think this is definitely a old OT. The attack pattern is you swing with the rear guards, you swing with Van, have the Van battle go through, and then once that's over, you counterblast Soul Blast 2 times to restand the rear guards. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think because that's your ideal attack pattern, you could say you probably want to have
usually always be your ideal attack pattern, unless you have something else on the board.
I want to make a counter argument. That's if you see 2 out of the 4 cards in your deck every time. Do these cards recycle themselves, so you get them back?
Yes, they do recycle themselves. You can stack them on top and then declare and bring it back to hand.
Okay, so you need to see them, see 2 of them early on enough.
The deck draws insanely fast. It has an order that just straight up goes through your deck.
I saw the order that draws extra cards. Yeah, I would keep it in Nope.
I think the regular lyrical OT is better.
Yeah. Regular is probably.
You do counter charge. Yes. The order says counter charge, get something 10k, and draw 2 cards, discard 1.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I don't know anything about Leafia. I know that she has like grade 3s that can attack. That's about all I know.
This is like Ashura Kaiser, right?
You are asking the wrong individual. As crazy as it sounds, is the one deck I know nothing about.
Like, this is literally, if you dry check like grade 3s or something, it resets or something? Like,
no, I think you just use grade 3s on the board. End of battle? Okay, then yeah, she can go into this category then. I don't think we need to. This deck needs a lot more than a new Overtrigger to help it. I wishes it could use the new one. That's fair enough. Loner Roll restands the whole board on attack because it's rearguard, Vanguard, and the rearguard's restand. So I think she's a maybe.
I think
because the lyrical OT doesn't matter as much.
She is at the bare minimum a maybe, but there might be an argument to make to potentially go towards the new one.
Restands in turn 4. Yeah, the restand's pretty late in the game.
In the earlier turn, you just attack with the Vanguard first.
Personally, I think this deck has a rearguard issue. Sometimes you just don't have rearguards. So, it's
like the thing is,
it's awkward.
Because you don't have rearguards, I would say the new one is better because you won't get the same value of the lyrical OT because you don't call full field.
But the numbers are super small.
Yeah, but then the new OT makes you like you get.
But then you want the lyrical OT because of that. Think about it.
But if your numbers are like 12 or 10 or 20, like I think then getting an extra 10 on one unit, that's not as significant as you have an entire column and get plus 20k on that column. Because if you only go front row, it's like a pseudo persona ride essentially.
I think lyrical OT is better. That's why I think it's more in the maybe category because there is like late game stuff that happens that makes the new OT better, but it's like super late game stuff. So I'm in the maybe category. I think it's player choice.
Wait, who's right?
I don't know. I do agree that the numbers are really small. There's like one grade 2 I think that kind of gains numbers. There's also Laron's skill off of the grade 3 song that kind of helps pump numbers. But aside from that, the numbers are usually pretty small. Also, again, you just barely have rearguard. Sometimes you have to call triggers out just to hit over. So I think it's a maybe.
I think that maybe is fine. Like I think the deck gets a bit better with the new support because it draws more and cycles more. But I see
like a little bit, but yes, it gets more consistent for the most part. I think it's more the consistency than anything else. I'm more towards the nope as well. I'll keep it in the maybe. I think maybe is fine. Leticia.
I played against this deck and I still don't know what the deck actually does.
Leticia?
Yeah.
It's just Draconic Overlord. You ride up to 3, you have 4 cards, and you have 4 orders in Soul, you restand Vanguard. Who's a drive? Yuki, that is incorrect. Tell me you were definitely. Oh wait, no, Yuki, wait, never mind. You're right. Sorry, ignore me.
Wait, what?
No, never mind. I misread. I misread Yuki's statement. Ignore me, Yuki. I misread what you said. Hi, Edward.
It's time to
Yo, Edward, thanks for the 60 minutes.
I know. Hi, Edward. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. We're talking about new OT. Hope your stream went well. Rado. Welcome in. Sorry, Yuki. So anyway, long story short, Leticia restance, loses a drive, gets 5k power, all that fun stuff. So personally, I think it's a either or situation. So this is one of the few lyrical decks where it does gain numbers. The rear guards are actually usually pretty huge, between like 33, 38-ish or so, which is pretty large. So with that being said, I think you can go with either, because I think restanding the bread girls is actually pretty differential, and the Vanguard restands as well. So it's already a 4 attacking deck with a bunch of Vanguard pressure, and then you hit the OT, and then you're like, okay, well now my rear guards are restanding too. So
yeah, if the deck already big numbers, then I feel like the value of the lyrical OT becomes
less.
Yeah, basically
exactly.
Starts to getting significant, and then the restand becomes quite interesting.
Yes, that's why I actually think the lyrical OT is nice, especially if you hit it early with Leticia, because it's kind of like high roll on top of high roll. This deck under high roll circumstances, when it high rolls, it's like insane. But again, like it's a high roll on top of a high roll, so you might as well just. I think the new OT is just better in that sense, because you're already high rolling anyway, and that's cool and all. But then you have the restand on top of that, and it gets even more lethal.
No, I agree.
In she goes. Panda Girl's a 3 attack deck that doesn't necessarily stack the top card, but you usually know what your top card is.
She's like Oracle Think Tank, right?
Kind of, but kind of not. Its skills activate based off what your top card is. You can stack a little bit. You're never stacking from hand or anything like that. You tend to just know what your top card is, and based off that knowledge, you will activate other abilities that will go off. So like her main Vanguard skill, literally look at top card. If it's a normal unit, you do something. If it's a trigger unit, you do something. So you just kind of do stuff. Wouldn't you want to restand it again? I think for her, I think the new OT is better, but that's just me.
Wait, is bad or better?
Better.
Like if she does have a rear guard with a crit, I feel like the restand does get more valuable.
There is a rear guard with a crit on it. Now on top of you have to specifically you have to have like special synergy for the crit, but yes. So
yeah, I will probably lean more towards that then as well, because it does give you more value at this point.
Yeah, and then Michu is a triple drive Vanguard swing, essentially, because you swing with the Vanguard, get the effects, and then in a battle you swap your back row booster with your front row, and then you get another drive check. Yep,
and it does get decent amount of power on the board as well.
Power is okay. It just it does. Oh yeah, that's right. It does give the 10Ks. Later on the game, yeah, the 10Ks matter. I think actually the new one is better.
I would say the new one because of a different reason. Because of the fact that you have more drive checks, there's a bigger chance that you hit a critical, so that resetting rear guard does come with more pressure.
Yeah, it does. I think the new one's fine. Fortia is again the same thing as Leticia, but Fortia. Also restanding Vanguard. This is pretty much Iconic Overlord the deck. I think this one also utilizes the new OT very well, because it has a very similar numbers to Leticia. Leticia's numbers are by a smidge better. But Fortia's numbers are also really good, and I think having the extra restand off of just having an extra attack, I think makes the deck better over the lyrical OT, which doesn't do as much in my opinion. That's
just
me.
Make numbers already or not?
Does it what?
Does it make decent numbers on its own?
Yeah, it's usually so. Leticia is always between 28 and like 38. This one is more towards 23 to 38.
Yeah, if that's the numbers it already makes on its own, then I think like the lyrical OT doesn't.
It's not as impactful.
Yeah, less impactful at that point.
All right, we have Ballista. I think it wants the new over trigger.
It's just 3 attacks, right? Or does it have to?
It has a restander. It has a restander, and with the new stuff, we'll actually have 2 restanders. So it's a 4 to 5
the new
attack.
standard is a complete different ballpark because you have a restanding Vanguard, right? No, that's
No, the rear guard's restand.
Yeah, you have so much more value of the double.
I think it's new regardless.
Yeah.
I think it's just an easy answer. Personally, I think it's new. It's a weird one, but usually we'll get numbers off of her effects anyway. Not too crazy, but kinda. Yeah,
I think I would lean more towards the new one because I feel like the deck really can value more about having that extra attack.
Yeah, I agree. Shaman King. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
From what I remember with her specifically, is that she struggles with killing.
Oh yeah. Deck has no win
and
con.
an extra 6 attack on a potential kill turn can make the difference.
Yeah, I agree. Shaman King's OT has no shield. Shaman King's OT is also just a straight ping of damage.
So for me, these are literally, who are you again? Because I do not stay up to date with collapse sets whatsoever.
This one in particular is God, it's been a second since I've seen it in action. I believe if it doesn't hit, it restands. It's Vanguard centric pretty much. But the rear guards do weird stuff where you have to keep revealing your hand to them. And then there's like numbers as well. But something that is brought up in chat as well, the OT has no shield on it, so you can just run the new OT just for the shield on top of the restand.
But if shield wasn't an issue, wouldn't they play the Cray Elemental in the first place?
That's fair, but the Kremlin's OT isn't that good. You'd rather just ping your opponent for a damage. At least in this deck specifically. It's a hard call, maybe. I don't know.
Like again, this is all you because I have no clue what impact it has.
I've played against it a couple times. I don't have like too much experience on it, but I'm kind of in the maybe slot. I think the argument of the shield is actually very important because there is no shield on the Shaman King over trigger. I know that you can just play the Cray Elemental one, but it's a hard call again because most people don't play it. I don't know. I'm gonna put it in the maybe slot.
Fair enough. Like pinging damage is kind of neat
in
certain instances. Like pinging a damage is literally the same as attacking with 100 million power because you guarantee that they couldn't PG it.
Well, they have to take the damage, and say you hit it and your opponent's at 5, they're taking essentially 2 damage. Or if they're at 4, then they're taking. No, so if you hit the OT, they have to take a damage. Period. It's a burn effect.
Oh no! I get that, but I mean with like the OT that restands gives 100 million power. This OT pings for a damage. So what I'm saying is that its skill pinging for damage is literally the same as attacking with 100 million power when they didn't have a PG. It's still 1 damage. So this is essentially guaranteeing that one of the restand attacks would hit.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it stays. I think it's more of a maybe. I think it's player choice.
Yeah, I think it's maybe. I
don't know anything about Ibisu. There she goes.
Ibisu is literally question. Oh yeah, no, I know who she is, but I don't know who she is.
Yeah, she can just stay there. Oh, that's right. Also, the I forgot about this, but yeah, the Shaman King over trigger also retires your opponent's board.
Wait, it does everything, or just you choose? What?
Retire all of your opponent's rear guards. That's it.
Oh, okay. Wait, what's the one that pings the damage then?
Oh no, it's that also. It also pings the damage. It does both.
What the? Dude, what the fuck?
That reaction.
No. For me, that's an instance big no.
It's like one or the other. Oh, is it really one or the other?
Ping a damage, bro. That's busted. What the fuck?
Oh, I see. So it has 2 effects. So if you check it offensively, you ping your opponent 1 damage. If you play it because it's an order, you can choose all your opponent's rear guards and retire them. There you go. Sorry. We don't play the deck enough. Clearly.
It's still, honestly, that might still be in the ballpark of being probably a bit better, because I think being able to have a 1 card field nuke might be better than 50k shield, depending against which decks you're playing.
Yeah, it's situational. I actually didn't even... I forgot about that. I forgot about that effect on it. But yeah, but you have to be like an oversoul state or whatever, which is like the whole gimmick of most of the decks.
That would have been a super funny defensive overtrigger effect. Oh, I hit a defensive, nuke your board.
Yep. Basically.
Call my insult by injury.
Well, we did it!
Oh my god! We're just in time for the second OT being revealed. Let's go.
And see, it did take like 3 hours. We've been here for a while.
Nice.
But we did it. You, me, and Kat. Hi, Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal.
You're gonna ignore me? Yep, you're gonna just ignore me. I know you can hear me.
She just woke up again. Because she was sleeping.
What?
Hi, Crystal?
What? What's with the sleepy face? Who's got a sleepy face? Yeah, you got a sleepy face. She like looks at me and then looks away. Yeah, she's a big floof. Anyway, that was fun. It's gonna be really fun to edit all this. Sorry, chat. I'm not like deliberately trying to ignore you guys. I'm just trying to listen to Eric while listening to my own thoughts while also following chats. I couldn't like always read it. I wasn't like purposely ignoring you guys. But usually if I have someone on, I'm going to focus on the guest first because they're on the stream. So anyway, that was fun. Anything you wish to change or move around, or you think you're good with this?
I think I agree with most. Like, there's of course some details about specific cards where I'm like, okay, that we should maybe move down a bit, move a bit up. But again, like, I'm of course not expert with every single deck, and it basically comes down to minute details or playstyle preferences, and of course, probably a lot of this might change the moment we get more support, because I think like this overtrigger would completely change the moment we have stronger rearguard on attack or guard restrict skills, because that's where this overtrigger really shines.
Oh, I agreed. So I'm trying to find Crowley's original tier list. His bad
see how
one.
wrong he is?
Yes.
Or he just hidden it just in advance because he knew he
found
would be
it. I found
oh, he
it.
found it. We see Flagberg already play new red OT. Well, we know that's wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's
also Chrono
wrong.
Jet, that's ridiculous.
That's wrong. That's
Nirvana
wrong.
is wrong.
That's kind of wrong. That's
no,
fine.
Youthberg is right. Youthberg is right.
Oh, Youthberg is right. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Maybe. Actually, we could just compare it to ours. Now that I think about it. Oh god, I gotta make this side bigger.
Oh no.
We're fine. Anyway. I lost chat. Okay, chat's back. Let's see. So Unica's okay. No. Fine. No. Fine, though we were kind of wrong about it. Thegria.
Wait, why is there multiple Tegrias?
I think he used his old list that had multiple Thegrias in it, so we're just gonna ignore that. Fine. Incorrect. Oh, sorry, we never actually... Wait, who's that?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is fine, that's fine. These are fine, that's okay. Actually, no, this is not okay. No, this is wrong.
Wait, what do you mean? Well, what's a...
Loner Rule.
Well, yeah, okay.
Loner Rule's wrong. This is fine. We don't know it. We're gonna ignore those. Will not play the new red OT. Ava in the no category. This is wrong. This is definitely wrong. This is fine. This is wrong because I think it's either or. This is fine. Either or. This is fine. Oh, we forgot about Eugene.
Wait, why is Eugene not in this list? What the?
I don't know.
Yeah, Eugene will. I would disagree. I think Eugene might be able to play the new OT because Eugene as a Vanguard reset doesn't really do much. Because literally Eugene is just a 13k swing again.
doesn't exist, so I'm cracking up. Eugene just doesn't exist. Well, anyway, I don't know. I would just probably put it in the maybe category
What do
or
you mean
something.
you don't know? You're the #1 Eugene player.
I am not the #1 Eugene player.
You are. There is even proof on your channel. Okay.
Yeah,
There's
the
proof.
one game I played that I don't even know how I won.
Yeah, and then you decided to nerf yourself for the sanity of all the other players in Vanguard to never play Eugene again because you're too overpowered with it.
Eh? Undefeated. No, I would just stay the undefeated #1 Eugene player.
Fuzzy, make a
games.
Fuzzy. I please make a separate tab on your website to dedicate a trophy to the #1 undefeated Eugene player and have a picture of Orange there.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. It's so awful. Anyway, wrong. Definitely. Well, actually, no. She doesn't want to play she wants to play the old ones. This is right. Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy too. Hey, long story short, this whole list is wrong.
Yeah.
With the exception of like 5 decks.
we ignored like most of the promo grade frees because we didn't talk about that Dark Stage one. We didn't talk about the Bat and a couple of others.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about the Bat.
But there's like iffy.
And then there's like the Highlander girl too from Bermuda. That doesn't matter. We covered most of them. Well, alrighty. I'm gonna switch screens now.
So are you ready to do this again in like tomorrow or
what, is it come out tomorrow?
Well, technically speaking, it will come out for me today, and for you, it come out tomorrow.
Oh wow! Oh, you mean like they're gonna reveal it at 11 o'clock? Oh wait, oh, is it the Thursday stuff that the Thursday reveals that they do?
Yeah, I believe the reveals on the Thursday reveal stream.
Oh wow, dang, we really are getting it kind of soon. Oh, time to make another video. Gotta make another one.
So same time, same place.
I'm not streaming again. I mean, not tomorrow anyway, but maybe this weekend if you really want to do this again for 3 hours.
I mean, I'm down for it.
Oh my god! Oh, Crystal looks so cute. Oh, the baby girl. Look at her. She's so cute. She's all circular now. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you sleep now. It's like 2 a.m. for you, or maybe even more. So go sleep.
Will do.
Thank you for
a pleasure
the fun.
to be here again, even though I got to some extent got abused a little bit, but yeah.
You did not get abused. I agree with you on the Leonore. Get out of here. There was some agreement.
No. Leonore, you agreed on me. That's a rare statement here today, ladies and gentlemen. That's a rare.
Hey, I agree with you for the most part. If anything, we argue about stuff that wasn't related to card fight.
Fair. Okay, fair.
Anyway, sleep well. Have a good night. I'm gonna go close out stream.
Okay, thanks for having me. Bye, chat. See you next time. See you on Sunday.
Boy.
Bye.
Alrighty. Now Eric is gone. Oof, that was a little tiresome actually. Would have been like 6 hours if you waited for both of them to be revealed. True. We're so close. We're so close yet so far. Well, that was fun. Again, my apologies if I couldn't get to every single post that was being thrown through chat. It wasn't intentional. 100% was not intentional. I was just trying to listen to a lot of things at once, and and there was a lot of opinion clashings going on everywhere. So that's mainly why. I'm surprised Crystal has spent so much time with us today. She is. I'm telling you, this has been like her favorite spot. That's where she's been. You can do this on mobile. Oh no. But overall, that was fun. That was fun. We definitely got a lot of talking out. Kind of exhausting actually. Just to put a camera on her, I guess I could. Oh my god, timed it now for 1,000,000 seconds. Oh no, I'm sure Bat's been wanting to do that all day. All stream. I'm sure all streams want to do that. Alright, let's go find someone to raid. Let's go find a lovely person to say hello to. Because I am actually strangely very exhausted from that. That was a lot of brain power usage.
Comment if they finished it early.
I was actually gonna play TFT with y'all, but honestly, that went a bit longer than I thought it was going to. Yeah, it's Rado Tomato time. I'm trying to see who I can raid. Let's just go on Card 5 Vanguard. It's just me. Yep, it's just me. Oh goodness gracious. Wait, is a million seconds 11 days? TFT on Discord? I'm probably gonna chill after this. Maybe read something. I don't know. I am a little tired. I think I need to step away from the computer. Rating a cat stream? We could rate a cat stream. Are there cat streams? Cat stream. Okay, well apparently when I look up cat stream, I get gambling. At least it may be over. I don't know why, but I looked up cat stream and I get casinos. That's pretty fun. I'm legitimately oh the cat stream's on actually. Never mind, I take it back. The actual cat stream is on. So yeah, we can read the cat stream. So let me go get that ready. I just like generically looked up a cat stream. I didn't realize that the cat stream is actually on right now. Yeah, we'll go ahead and give him a nice little Wado potato. Well, thank you all. That was fun. That was very amusing. A lot of opinions being thrown out. Hopefully we got through it pretty well. Overall, it was a very interesting tier list to do. We just proved Curly wrong. That's all. And we could say goodbye to Crystal too. Bye, Crystal. Bye, Crystal. She bigged me out when I did that, so. But alright, y'all. Have a good night. Stay awesome. Stay great. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in next one. Just FYI, I am going to Texas. So you guys can find me in Texas. So just stay tuned for that. Texas. Bye, Crystal. Bye, stream.